a lot of people that are frustrated. Attend a special town meeting. I have made accommodations for everybody that is here to protest tonight. There is a designated area for them. That is not what this hall is here to do. This hall is here to conduct the business that's going to be before us tonight. I've witnessed some select board meetings. I was at a select board meeting to announce a fundraiser that we were doing for the town. The activity that happened at that meeting upset me so much. I literally lost sleep for that night, wondering how would I handle that? How would I have handled myself if that happened to me at this meeting? I've thought a lot about that. Fortunately, I was given 2 pages of police procedures. If you see the, Lewis, if you can put up the first slide. My role as moderator is pretty clear. My job is to conduct a meeting and maintain the decorum of that meeting. And I will fulfill my role to its fullest. I am hoping that everybody here tonight treats me with respect. I will treat you with respect. Anybody who's attended any of my meetings that I've presided over before knows I have the patience of a saint. Well, that's in my view. And I understand that this is the first time that many people have attended a town meeting. So you don't understand, I'm sure, all the protocols of how to address town meeting. And I can tell you, I personally, when I'm not moderating a meeting, I've had to stand up at one of these microphones and make my comments. And I got nervous. I mean, without a doubt, it's not an easy thing to do. My job is to make it comfortable for you. And I'm going to do that by making sure that people are maintaining a particular decorum at this meeting. Multiple times before this meeting started, I've asked you to read, pages 4 and 5 of the warrant. And that gives you an understanding of how to conduct yourselves during this meeting. But I think it's important for me to spend a couple of minutes on that. First of all, some people think that they are coming here to be able to ask questions to the select board, or because they were hoping that if Article 4 passed, that would open up a forum of discussion. It took me my first 2-hour call with the petitioners to explain to them that tonight's meeting would not accomplish that, because tonight's meeting is not to have those questions there. It's to address the motion, that whether or not we would do that. So as you get up at the microphones or you stand in line, and when I ask you to stand in line, I'm going to make sure that I address people and give them the opportunity to speak. And you should not be talking until I have recognized you to speak. And if you make a mistake or you're saying something that I don't believe is appropriate at the time, I'm going to say order. And when I do that, the expectations is it's going to be as quiet as it is right now. And I will try to explain to you why I've had to make that motion. This meeting is governed by so many rules and bylaws that it literally takes me a couple of weeks to study those. And working with the petitioners, they now know how difficult it is and how a word or two could really change the aspect. So if you get up at the microphone, the first thing that you do is you state your name and your address, and then you say, I am standing either in favor or opposed to the article, and then you begin your points. Again, as I said, I will try to be patient because I understand that some people do not understand fully the rules of this meeting. I will make corrections and make sure that people are doing it appropriately. But the first point is, This is, I mean, everybody thinks they have the freedom of speech. Not at tonight's meeting. Tonight's meeting, there are rules that govern tonight's meeting. And the first rule is, as you speak on an article, you are to address the article and the points of the article. If you're starting to stray off, and I had lots of questions, well, can I explain that I'm this, I'm the CEO or whatever it is, and that is not pertinent. Tonight's meeting, everybody's point of view is just as important as others. So you are to make sure your comments are specifically related to the motion that we're discussing. Our bylaws say that speakers shall avoid personalities.
Wow.
What that means is this: no person is allowed to attack anyone's character. Nobody is allowed to make comments related to a person's character or activities that do not pertain to the motion at hand. So if I bang my gavel and warn you, please take that very seriously, because I do not want to have to call somebody out of order and to the point where I have to maintain the decorum of this hall. Again, nobody will be asking questions to anybody but me. All questions are be directed through the moderator. That doesn't mean you can't get up and say, Mr. Moderator, I'd like to know through you whether XYZ. If I can answer the question, I will. If not, I will refer to someone that may be able to better answer it than me. And finally, I'm going to try to make sure that I handle the speaking order of people in an appropriate manner that will make this night's voting a little more understandable for everyone. So I will be first recognizing either the chair of the Finance Committee or the petitioners to make the primary motion. Then I will let whoever makes the primary motion finish their arguments on why they're making the motion. I will then go to the Finance Committee, who has debated that. And then there are either the select board or others that have prepared slides that have been given to me. I will recognize them. Then I'm going to ask when you are ready to, if you want to speak on the motion, that you form a line, and everybody that's in a satellite location will need to come to this hall to speak. And if you give your moderator and your satellite location your name, I will try to get you a little bit in front of the line, since you have to walk all the way over here, give you an opportunity to speak so you can return. All right, that's how we will conduct tonight's meeting. The petitioners have asked that they are able to present a opening discussion before we begin to address the articles. And one of the articles certainly is the voting process. And I will take painstaking efforts to make sure everyone understands how we will be voting tonight. So Lewis, we have a situation. The feed to the gymnasium and the cafeteria are frozen.
Oh, good.
The best laid plans. Trust me, the town and myself have been spending hours here setting up and trying out the stuff.
It's town meeting. The special town meeting. It's special.
So please give us 1 second to troubleshoot the hotspot.
Right. They said the guy messed up the Pledge of Allegiance. Even you know the.
And Mr. So.
I don't know. He got like a word wrong.
Mr. Birmingham, please be ready with the opening comments.
From the Republic, that's what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they can't even get the, can you believe that? That's Canton. They don't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah.
Okay, this is how it goes.
Okay, let's hear it.
To the flag of the United States of America.
Yep.
To the republic.
Can the cafeteria and the gymnasium now hear?
How hard is that? That's so simple. You're 6 years old and you know it. You don't know the national anthem? Do you know it? Sing it right now. Do you know any words of it? No, that's the wrong. No, it's oh. Oh, say. Oh my gosh. You guys disowned. Disowned. Oh, say, can you see? No.
Okay, just to let you know, in this room, what is happening, the gymnasium somehow lost the feed
Okay, they're back.
that we were sending, and they're trying to troubleshoot it. As soon as we get it up and running, we will continue on with the comments from the petitioners.
Shh. Quiet you. I'm watching some special town meeting. We're just watching. Nothing's happening.
Wait, I'm in the.
Yeah, you jumped in. Why are you jumping in? Nobody cares. You can say hi. But like, nothing's even happening.
I just shocked you. Wait, I thought that's awful.
So we can't continue. For...
What is happening right now? So the moderator's done? Is that maybe a
We only have 11
meeting right there? It's just so crazy, huh?
All right, while we're waiting, is Jim McCarthy here available in this auditorium? You're one of our counters and we have to, James McCarthy? Is James McCarthy in?
He needs to get his act
He's
together.
supposed to be in the cafeteria, gymnasium, or here? In here. James McCarthy's nowhere here?
Go ahead. What's that? In the routine?
Pardon? You know, it's funny. Everybody was like, "Are you nervous?" I'm like,
oh God,
technology was my biggest fear. I mean, this is never needed to be done before. So the time that went into setting up 3 rooms and all the voting procedures and everything like that was amazing. And technology, I mean, we can all be texting home and our wives probably know what's going on more than the people in the gym right now. So I apologize for that.
Like, you know, the police are supposed to like keep track of everything and write things down, like take pictures, investigate crimes. They don't do that in Canton. So it's like they have to fix it. So like all these people came out to this meeting to vote whether or not to fix it. You don't care? You don't care. You should care. Yeah, it's true. meeting going on right now. So Tom really got assaulted? Is that right? Is that like people keep saying that? What happened? Who can fill me in on that? I hope Tom's okay. What are they doing right now? Dude, this is gonna be all night, huh?
James McCarthy.
I don't even know.
So what happened? Who can tell me what happened to Tom?
All right, so
He took an elbow to the chest, like, intentionally.
And we'll hear from them.
His phone got knocked out of his hand. Did he get the phone back? And took his phone. Did he get it back? He accepted an ambulance?
it was check the people at
Get
the
out of
front.
here. Good. He's
I looked for him.
solid. I don't remember. Solid.
He might be in one of the other rooms.
He started a new live the video footage of the guy backing into him and elbowed him in the chest. Then took his phone from him. He sent the Tom video to Clarence. He got his phone back. He's walking the guy. Okay, I gotta go
We'll
check.
have to give it as soon as he first got it.
Best laid plan.
You can hear the wife say, "No, I gotta go see the video." I didn't get the hit. Something.
Can I ask people to do me a favor? If you can hear me and your phone is on and you're somehow on Wi-Fi, please put on airplane mode. Oh no, airplane mode wouldn't do it. But please consider turning your phone off, because it could be that the wire, like we are trying to do this with a wireless feed, and it could be there's a lot of people in this room. So if you can turn your phone off, I think that could help the situation.
He was filming me. So he hit him and took his phone. Oh, we're finding out this guy's name. We are finding this guy's name out. Wow. Go, Tom, go. Go, Tom, go. Go get him, Tom. Good job, Tom. Dude, this video is wild.
Give them both before the meeting, so I'm going to go to the cafeteria and the gym. And
This
I
dude
get them, and then we'll
backed
just do it here in the audience.
into him. Oh, while he was standing in line, so the dude jumped out of line and backed into him because he was filming. Then the dude tried getting in the police car. And dude, this is not emblematic of everything that's wrong. Oh, get him, Tom. Where's this? This guy was he? Wow, wow. That was wild. That video is wild. Wow. That was wild. You guys got to see this video. They're going to cancel the meeting. So what happened? What, the boomer, they couldn't figure out the Wi-Fi? Yeah, you guys don't have to keep texting me about it. I got it. I got the first 100 texts.
Huh?
We don't get this straight out. We have to do this again. We get to do it.
The police wouldn't give Tom the name of the assailant? He took his phone. He hit him and he took his phone. I saw it right on video. He literally gets hit and took his phone.
This is insane.
Oh, dude, he backs right into him. So the dude sees him coming. Tom's walking down the line of people waiting to get in, and the dude sees Tom filming him, and then intentionally starts backing into him. And like you could see him backing into him. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this first. We're gonna get this guy. We're gonna get this guy. Okay, we got him. Somebody, I need a name of this guy. I'm gonna put it out. Did they really not get his name? I bet you we can get his name. It was not witnessed by Canton PD. I got the video. I got the video right now. He was hit in the phone takeover room. All right, let's throw it up on Facebook. Let's see if anyone can name him. I got the video. Oh, when he goes to the cruiser, let's see. He tries getting in the cruiser. He tries putting his
We
arm-
have technology fixed, so give us 1 second.
Ooh, see this.
So I'm waiting for our IT person. And I will make a better effort to stand closer to the microphone. And I will ask everybody who is also speaking to make sure that they're speaking close to the microphone and speak slowly so that people can understand on the transmission what
Police
you're
have his
saying.
name. The cops called him out on that, but he put his arm around one of them. I saw that video. Wow.
Okay, so at this time, the chair will recognize the petitioners for an opening comment.
Wow. I mean, how is that not voter intimidation? Oh, we got
Mr. Moderator, my name is Tom Birmingham. I live on Sherman Avenue, Canton, Mass.
Oh boy.
I stand in favor of tonight's special town meeting
Oh wait.
and to help set the table for what the petitioners seek to accomplish this evening. Full disclosure, while I only signed the petition for Article 7, I fully support all of the petitioners' efforts to improve how we are governed. Over the past several months, I have been participating in an informal group loosely referred to as the Canton Moves Forward Coalition. This is a group of concerned citizens who are exploring different ways to address some of Canton's toughest challenges. Our unofficial goal is to help Canton move forward towards a stronger democracy
Can't believe that
and a
dude-
more unified town.
like it was nothing.
We have no charter, no voting structure, no budget.
What happened to the feed? Dude, Tom was the MVP tonight. Tom roasted.
Is a growing collective voice and lots of ideas on how to move Canton forward. What we seek tonight and in the future is to be heard. What we ask tonight is for people to please listen.
I just made a Facebook post.
Next slide.
Hey, who's this guy?
Thank goodness Americans have the right by law to pursue happiness. However, there is a lot of unhappiness going on around us. Our town is hurting and out of balance in ways I have never seen before. This certainly is a recipe for conflict, but it is also an opportunity for change.
I hope he's on. If he's on our
Fortunately,
side, I like him.
our forebears anticipated this conflict
Oh God.
and created many tools we can use to move forward. Next slide.
I get to have slides.
We are experiencing unprecedented
Where's
times.
Rita to speak? Where's Rita?
This requires unprecedented action.
What time did they get?
Tonight provides us with three examples. First, I believe this is Canton's first STM special town meeting
I like that.
compelled by a citizen petition.
He's on our
Second,
side.
This is the largest turnout by far for a town meeting that I can recall.
Yeah, but we don't need to say all that.
Third,
Come on.
we will be asked whether we want to use paper ballots to register our votes. These are all unprecedented actions.
Okay, yeah, we know.
Folks, I'm here to tell you, this is amazing progress right before our eyes. On behalf of myself and all the petitioners,
Yes. What is going on? He's voting
and
yes.
the IT team working very diligently to make this town meeting happen. Thank you to all the helpers. We sincerely appreciate your efforts. Next slide.
Oh my God. How long did
Many
this
of you
run?
may be familiar with the legend of David and Goliath. It is essentially a story about how a skilled hunter who, on behalf of his people, defeated the seemingly invincible giant who represented the establishment. The key to David's success, he figured out that Goliath had poor vision and used that to his advantage. The petitioners feel a little like David. They are not experts in parliamentary procedure, municipal law, writing petitions, articles, and motions. They have limited time and resources to devote to these efforts. Their superpower is their passion and their skill
There's no time limit?
in growing their
I still
ability to
don't know
organize the community.
What?
Let us be clear. The petitioners have no intention of taking down our government like David did to Goliath.
That's why you mentioned
They
David
simply
Fine.
want
All
a
'cause of that.
meaningful, respectful opportunity to be heard.
Yep. Because
They know that they did not get everything right in the warrant
Am I the only one?
or in preparing for tonight's meeting, but they have tried their hardest to navigate a complex system that favors the establishment mostly on their own. Next slide.
Oh my God, with the slides.
Our journey towards happiness is a
Dude.
long and bumpy, I'm sorry,
There's no
next
time
slide.
limit? Oh my God.
Thank you.
Journey
Our
towards
journey towards happiness is a long and bumpy one.
overall.
This slide illustrates our journey towards this ideal.
Dude, read the room, brother.
Tonight's special town meeting is an important first step
We need,
toward Canton's collective happiness,
need
but
flavor.
it is by no means
We're gonna put
the
the
only
flavor.
one.
This is
This is democracy in action. It is messy,
learn how to
and
like,
it requires constant care and attention.
learn how to not
And freedom
and not let your
is the
class
keystone to using democracy to pursue our happiness.
Yep, got it, Tom.
Next slide.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I will use the rest of my time to address these three critical questions.
Time?
What is freedom? How does democracy protect it? And why are we here tonight?
Wait,
Next
Is there
slide.
no time limit on the speakers? Tell me this.
80 years ago, Norman Rockwell illustrated what freedom looks like in a series of 4 paintings. They are entitled Freedom of Speech, Freedom of Worship,
I still don't know what's
Freedom from Want,
I still don't know.
and
what's
Freedom from Fear. While times have changed since
Sure.
then, I believe these
It's
4
like-
freedoms are still critical
free to talk.
to our pursuit
Hear this
of
shit.
happiness.
For fuck's sake.
Previous slide, please.
Oh my God, the previous, God forbid we missed the
Well,
previous slide.
The freedom of speech painting on the left reflects exactly what we are doing here tonight.
Oh,
The gentleman in the foreground even has a warrant in his hand. Next slide, please.
oh, for fuck's sake.
In the freedom from fear painting on the right, we see children
We're gonna vote
resting
no now,
safely
that's right.
in their beds,
You're gonna vote no.
oblivious to the perils of this world.
Give this
The
guy
father is
no.
holding a newspaper.
On our side.
The headlines describe the horrors of the ongoing conflict
No one
during
cares.
World War II.
No one cares.
America's involvement in World War II was, above all else, a response to unchecked power. Seeing these paintings helped me better understand why my father, a World War II veteran, meant what he said when he said, freedom is not free, but it is worth fighting for. Next slide.
Oh, there's another slide. Oh,
Democracy creates tension by design.
my
Our
God.
Constitution guarantees it. Our forebears deeply understood that societies lose their balance
It might be.
through unchecked
It might
power.
be. It very
To
well might
ensure America's survival, they developed many checks and balances that naturally create tension. Tension among the voters
be. Is there
and
Is
tension
there a time
among
limit?
our three branches
this
of
guy has
government.
to be over?
Next slide.
Oh my God, there's another slide.
Tonight, we will hear arguments for and against numerous articles and motions.
Making-
There is a lot to unpack here, but the overriding
really
theme
has,
of these
like,
articles
time to shine.
is to ensure a balance of power
And,
among Canton's
well,
voters,
power.
select board, and police department.
What?
The term often used is for the people, by the people.
How is there
In other words, the government should work for the people and the people elect who.
For fuck's sake. This is the most bootleg town.
Canton voters. In other words, they believe that Canton's balance of power among the select board and the Canton Police Department favor a vocal minority.
When is Angela?
What they seek is to use the legal tools of democracy to rebalance this power in a peaceful, respectful manner. Next slide.
Oh my God, there's more.
In the few minutes I have left, I'm now going to focus on why we are here tonight. Given how complicated the democratic process is, a simple safety analogy may help explain.
I really cannot.
Like
believe
freedom,
the time limit.
staying safe is critical to achieving happiness.
Oh, is that what?
Most of you probably drove here
I want
tonight.
this guy to vote no.
The best way to control a car is to use two hands on the steering wheel and follow the speed limit. We also know accidents happen, so we buckle up for safety. If we don't do these things, there could be catastrophic results.
You want to go to sleep?
Next slide.
I have something that can put you to sleep.
Democracy also has different ways to help us steer,
It's
avoid
really-
accidents, and keep safe. For example, Article 1, a paper ballot, like a safety belt, helps voters feel more comfortable voting in a public and on controversial issues.
Are we?
Article 6, a management review of the Canton Police Department, like posted speed limit signs, helps us better trust our law enforcement through improved transparency. Article 7, a change in the voting date, like two hands on the wheel, helps steer the course of democracy.
No more slides.
So what are the petitioners seeking?
No more slides. No.
To use the tools of democracy to improve the balance of
That's a good
power
question.
for the people,
You're a good wife.
by the people.
Do stuff like this.
Last slide. In closing, Canton has a lot to be proud of. We have amazing sports teams. A shout out to the varsity girls volleyball team on a fantastic season. Congratulations. We also have an incredible arts program. The Wizard of Oz is a personal favorite of mine, and thank you to the arts department for a great program. And we have completely transformed two hazardous waste sites into vibrant gathering places. Now, we stand on the threshold of the next chapter of Canton's history with a lot more work ahead. If you want to help and aren't sure how, please email cantonmovesforward@gmail.com to learn more. No doubt, these changes carry a cost, but like an out-of-control car or an out-of-balance government, the consequences may be catastrophic.
Is there really?
As my dad said,
This is way.
freedom is not free, but it sure as hell is worth fighting for. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
I still don't know what he wanted. I still don't know.
Thank you. And just so that everyone fully understands, I purposely asked for introductions. I knew that everyone would not be here, and I wanted everyone that on time or in their spot. So I wanted to make sure that we started with some introductions so everyone would be in place by the time the voting took place. The other thing that I want to say is this opportunity to speak before we start the articles is really the only time we will be going off script. I mean, I was at the volleyball game, but those type of comments will not be ruled out of order once we start the business process. Since I asked the petitioners or allowed the petitioners the opportunity for some opening comments, I also asked the select board if they would like to have some opening comments. And so, Mr. Theodore, would you like to make some opening statements?
Like maybe mention that the police department needs fixing instead of 7 years ago. My grandfather was in World War II.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh,
My name
God.
is Thomas Theodore, 18 Charles Drive, and the chair of the Canton Select Board.
You're a real piece.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here this evening and participating in this special town meeting. We certainly are facing unprecedented and challenging times.
President.
We are all here together tonight, albeit divided and somewhat contentious about a desire to do what we feel is right and best for our town. But over the past few months, I've been saddened by the fact that we as Canton residents have allowed outside influences with the intent of driving a wedge between us and our neighbors, along
Who's he talking about? I know he's not talking about me.
with total disregard for the well-being of our town. The vitriol and hatred displayed.
Order.
What is that supposed to mean?
The vitriol
You're.
and hatred displayed on social media,
Oh
the
yeah.
threatening letters and emails sent to different people, the defacing of property. This has to end. This is not Canton. We are better than this. So tonight, I ask, as we debate the motions and the articles at hand, we do so with an open mind. We must be respectful of other views, and we can agree to disagree and do so with civility. I believe we all have something to offer here this evening, and we can learn from one another. But most importantly, no matter what the outcome of this evening is, we make a commitment to one another that we do move forward.
What is that?
Work collectively as a community and always keep what is in the best interest of Canton in mind. Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you. All right. We are now about to enter the meeting. So we will start. This is unlike a town meeting where we draw by random lot which articles we're going to address. For tonight's meeting, we will address them all in the order that they are showed in the warrant. So with that in mind, the chair will recognize the chair of the Finance Committee to make a motion for Article 1, Motion 1.
The Finance Committee moves motion 1 as written in the warrant.
Motion 1 has been made and seconded. Speaking on the motion, Ms. Thomas. And please introduce yourself.
Sorry. Cindy Thomas, 22 Long Meadow Drive, Chair of the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee unanimously recommends this motion. This motion will establish a meeting schedule for this special town meeting.
Motion do we want?
And it will set out that we meet in 2 consecutive nights if needed, tonight and tomorrow night, Tuesday, November 21st, and then each subsequent Monday and Wednesday in the auditorium and related spaces. I don't know what's going on here. And this schedule will allow for a timely and efficient process to deliberate the articles.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. And I will note before I don't see anybody looking to talk further on that, I will note that the petitioners asked for, another day, and because of the play, we had problems accommodating that. I think their point was well taken, and that will be subject for future meetings to consider. So with that said, I ask that everyone in favor of motion 1, Article 1, motion 1, raise your hands and say aye. All opposed? The motion passed unanimously in this room. Let me check with the other rooms.
It passed, dude. Trust me. It's going to pass everywhere. You need to check the other rooms. If it's 1,000,000 in this room, it's 1,000,001 in the others. Oh, God. When do we get to the good stuff?
So as we mentioned earlier, there will be a delay as the other rooms are still on the feed, about a 35 to 45 second delay. So it is what it is. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I was just told that the delay is probably a little longer than I thought. So it because they were just still listening to Chairman Theodore speaking. Okay. So we have the gymnasium passed overwhelmingly, and we are now.
People are saying the guy's name is Mark Dubois. Is that right?
All right, I believe that I can continue to talk because I have some comments before we
Is that the police chief?
make a motion for motion 2. And so let me explain a couple of things because there's been a lot of information around how tonight's voting will go. And I apologize, everything you read in the paper is not true. And there was some confusion with respect for how, whether or not if the finance committee made a motion, whether or not we would be going immediately to a written ballot process without having a 36-hour delay. That is not how it worked.
No way.
The way it worked was this. If I declared that we would have a written ballot process and take the vote away from the people, we would not have to have a 36-hour waiting period. If I did not declare that in advance and I let the people decide, we would have a 36-hour waiting period. I have read the bylaws. I consulted with multiple attorneys on what my powers and duties are under the bylaws.
I hate that. I'm with you.
Okay, the last motion did pass unanimously, but I will continue this discussion and then before we get to the vote, or the next motion. And so if the motion that the Finance Committee put into the warrant were to be acted on and passed first, I would be asking everybody to come back next Monday. Because I have some authority under a tellering process, I have approached the select board. I don't know if people have watched the video from last Friday, but I have proposed to them, and they did vote in favor of that, to put together a process where we would first, as a group, vote whether or not we wanted to use the standard voting process and tellering process. So the standard voting and tellering process is this.
Really, him? That really looks like him.
We just did the standard voting process. The standard telling process would be that everybody stand that wants to vote and hold their cards up until all the tellers count how many yeses there were, and then we put those down and do no. That is the standard tellering process. I, as moderator, have the authority to modify the standard telling process. So the first vote we're going to be making tonight, as I understand it, is I'm going to recognize the select board, and they're going to put forward a motion to use the standard voting and telling process. If that motion passes, that's what we do. If that motion fails, then the select board is ready to make an amendment to that. And the amendment will simply be that we will implement the moderators,
Oh, cool. I got a catch.
the moderators
I'm looking for it.
tellering process.
Maybe
And my
this-
moderator's telling process is this,
You probably-
that on the votes that I believe are sensitive nature, that the
Ferris Bueller
people
says-
here are
says-
concerned about, we will have a written ballot process.
This is
And the
like-
way that will work is this, there are ballot boxes
that's
on
probably
each of the, in each of the areas. In this hall, there is 5 designated ballot boxes. In other halls, there's 1 each. People will stand up when the teller and their row tells them to go and walk by a voting box. And you can see some of the voting boxes throughout the hall. In that voting box, there is a yes box and a no box in which you would.
What's going on now? I'm
Which one you
working on
want
it,
to
man.
vote and place them in that voting box. And there will be tellers that would count them
Look.
up. All right. And then
Now that it's on
we
top,
would, since there will be tellers that will count them as you're making them, we would know what the results of that are fairly simply. So I understand that the Finance Committee has a third option.
Point of order, I have a question because it was my understanding that the amendment was
that be?
actually only going to use a tellering process.
Oh my God. Ugh.
This, we start with a vote, and if it is a close vote where I need to have a tellering process, that is a written telling process, we would use that. But if the overwhelming majority of the people are voting one way in all rooms, then a written telling process would not change the outcome of that. So the downfall is no, it's not a secret ballot, but the only secret ballot option that we have in this town right now is that if the petitioners were to ask to have these questions put on our ballot. So the process that we're going to undertake right now is we're going to start with a motion for the standard. Then we will move an amended motion that would have a tellering process that if it's a close vote, we would go to a written. And then if the people still do not want that, the third option would be an option that Finance Committee may have voted tonight, or what is in the, but if make no mistake about it, if the town votes a written ballot process, then we do have to have a 36-hour delay by law. So at this point, I'm going to recognize the chair of the Finance Committee to make the first motion. So Board of Selectmen, I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, Mr. Moderator, I'd like to make a substitute motion to Article 1, Motion 2, as printed on the back of the voter card.
So this motion that is being made right now says we will use the standard voting process, which was show of cards, and a standard tellering process. If you want to do that, vote it. If you want to have the option to have the written ballot process that would take place on a very close vote, then you would vote no on this. All right? Does everybody understand that? I know it's kind of confusing. Okay. So the first vote we are taking is that we will decide all these motions tonight by a standard voting process that we have used at every town meeting before. And that process is this. When I call for a vote, we raise our hand just like we raise our card like we did at the first. And
there has been
the only time we need to go to a tellering process is if the vote is so close that I, as looking at the audience, cannot tell whether that wins or loses. If the standard tellering process, if it's a close vote, is simply this. You hold up your cards until somebody comes around and counts them, and then we tally up all the counts at the end of the night. That's the standard tellering process. That is what we're voting right now. And if you don't like that and prefer, then instead of that, on a close vote, that we use a written ballot process, then you would vote no on this one instead of saying, yes, I want to use the standard process. So we have a motion and a second to
place in this auditorium right now.
vote in accordance with our standard voting and tellering
You
process.
guys can't hear
all
me?
right? And that is what is on the table at this point. Does anybody have
At
a
all?
point of order or they have a question? Yes.
You can't hear me at all.
Yes, and so for the written
Hold on.
voting process, tellering process, if we go to that, we specifically designate.
All right. So did I mute that? All right. So listen, I just explained to MLS, right? So what's happening here is they are voting on whether or not they're going to basically audit the police department and the board of selectmen, because the board of selectmen and the police department basically is, screwed up the whole Karen Read case. They have a lot of issues, and there is a massive movement now of people just to come out. We don't know if these people are voting for or yes for the audit, which is what we want, or no against the audit, which is what we don't want. That's like support the status quo is a no vote. So I can't go to this because too many people in this room have orders on me. Okay, we get to hear him talk now. Let's hear what this lady talk.
Is this motion for all the articles or the 4, 5, 6, and 8?
Recognize
This
Not
motion
part of
right,
this.
this motion right now is a standard process for all articles that we will be voting tonight. The motion that will amend this, if not, will give me the authority to implement a written ballot process for sensitive articles.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none. All in favor of the standard voting process signify by raising your card.
Oh. Why would you
All opposed.
call? Please don't call during a stream.
Okay, in our room, this has passed by a majority, not a super majority, but it is a clear majority. And so at this point, you camped out the vote until we've declared the vote. And just so you know, by doubting the vote, if there's 7 people that doubt the vote, then we have to go to a written process. And if I am declaring what the, no, sorry, we have to go to a tellering process. And if we go to a tellering process, again, I have the authority to implement the tellering process as I see fit. So please don't try to abuse my authority here. I am trying to develop a solution that the petitioners have and other members of the community has asked me to do. And so I'm prepared to go home tonight and wait another day. So at this point, this room has voted the motion to hold it as we always have in a.
I can't believe this many people are watching this special town meeting. We got 2,100 people watching literally the most boring thing possible. We're so old. All of
Okay,
us.
so now, and can you, in each room, by the way, in each room, I've asked to have observers that were selected by the petitioners watching these votes. Can you ask the 2 moderators, did the observers concur with the findings that they had that this has passed in both of the rooms?
This is why they need an audit, by the way. Because, I mean, what is this a joke? I can't wait till I'm the dictator of Canton. We're going to fix all this real
There
quick.
was supposed to be.
Oh, this is a special town meeting, let me tell you.
Is Jean Boylan in the cafeteria? Richard Peterson in the gymnasium? Michael Wagner in the gymnasium? and Linda Patterson in the cafeteria.
I know they started. At
Okay, so in the cafeteria, the observers as well as the moderator have found that the standard process has passed. Richard Patterson and Michael Waggett. Michael Waggett. So again, I tried to make sure that we had not only moderators, but observers that were selected by the petitioners. So at this point, all three rooms have passed with a majority. We're waiting for confirmation from the third room that the observers also concurred.
Hey, we're gonna let's watch the video of Tom getting assaulted real quick. This is what happened. I got the video here. Okay, we'll get back to him because I mean we're not missing much. So let's watch. This is what happened. So watch what happens here. This dude Tom is walking down this row of people trying to get in, and watch this dude like back into him. Watch this.
This is insane. Don't. You have a problem there, buddy? You got a fucking problem? What the fuck is you doing? Give me my phone. What is going on? What are you doing taking my phone from me? You mean to us. What are you doing? Who's got my, what are you doing?
What is going on? I don't know.
Hey, where's the car?
Are you with him? You with him?
Hey!
Do you want to take his phone? I don't know why.
Where's the car?
Did you take his phone? Well, he's filming me. Huh? He started yelling at me and started filming me.
You just jumped into
They
me.
stole his phone.
Bullshit, you jumped right. I got you on film,
They're
guy.
holding his phone.
Your wife's telling you not to do it, and then you come put hands on me. What's your problem?
Get it, Tom.
What
Get
is
it.
wrong with you today, huh? You like touching people? All these people are witnesses to what you did. I got it on film. Man, negative, not moving anywhere.
Good for you. Negative, Tom says.
Hey, can someone get the cop?
Give me my phone back. They literally walked into him and then took his phone. Because they didn't want to be filmed in public.
Where is he? Where'd the tough guy go? Where is he?
Where is it?
Negative, not going. He's not going to go fucking touch me in front of all these people like that. Mr. Tough Guy. Right here.
So that's how it ends. And they, I think, dude, that was awesome. God bless Tom. That was crazy. Let's go back to the meeting. Let's see if anything's happened. Probably not. Oh, Lisa Cohen's talking. He's challenging something. You love Lisa Cohen.
Marianne Lee, 431 Bolivar Street.
All right, so that's 5.
So she's on our side. At least Cohen's on our side.
How about the judge? The chair declares that this motion has passed by a majority, and we have not had enough. All right, we are now moving to motion 3 of Article 1.
Oh, they need 7 to protest?
I'd like a point of order here.
Oh, we're gonna,
After the votes,
it's gonna be bad. She's on our side.
is there allowed to be outbursts after the votes?
Okay. Okay. Is there allowed to be ooh.
There it is. No, we are trying to maintain a decorum here. So I understand that people have always been excited and always clapped and cheered or whatever. And so I would ask you all to refrain from that if you can. All right. So we are now motion 3 of Article 1. The chair will recognize Ms. Thomas.
The Finance Committee moves motion 3 as printed in the warrant.
Okay, motion 3 has been made and seconded. I'm sorry, speaking on the motion, Ms. Thomas.
The Finance Committee unanimously recommends this motion. As non-residents are not legally allowed to speak at a town meeting, this motion allows those listed in the warrant to legally speak and have other non-voting privileges before the special town meeting as needed. And this formalizes procedures used at other past town meetings.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Now, we all know that some of these people want to speak or have not been informed that certain people want to speak. This is a standard process that we've used to put everything. Any further questions? I see a person over there.
Elyse opposed it means it's probably a good thing. And
I don't think, okay, thank you.
you could get 7.
Sean Colburn, 89 Randolph Terrace. Mr. Moderator, I have a few questions to ask about Article 1, Motion 3, specifically on the list of speakers allowed to participate in tonight's meeting but have no voting privileges. One person who stands out is a partner with the law firm Brody, Harden, Perkins, and Keston, and I choose not to call him out by name, but according to his bio,
Lenny Keston represented 𝗵𝗄𝗄𝗃 𝗃𝗃 in Troopergate, the story that I broke a few years ago. He actually represented the good guys in that.
for clarity about his presence and speaking with 3 questions. If you would like to address the questions or have Mr. Keston himself, I respectfully go through you. Is Mr. Keston here tonight to represent the Canton Police Department or one individual?
The answer to that question is simple. If somebody is here and they do speak and they are speaking on behalf of someone else, they must identify that they are doing that. So at this point, I understand they were put on the list because there's some representation involved. And if they do speak, they're required by our bylaws to disclose that.
Okay.
Next question.
Who within our town government retained this person? Do you have an answer to that?
No, I don't, and I don't think that's in order. Next question.
Are the taxpayers of Canton paying for this legal representation? Do we happen to know if the select board chose this gentleman and if they are retaining his fees for tonight?
That is also out of order. The purpose of this article is to allow people to speak if they are in here. I have told the petitioners that if they wanted representation, I would allow them in this room to work with them. I personally have had to ask legal advice. My advisor is not in the room tonight because I felt well prepared, but that has nothing to do with the motion that's at hand. The motion at hand is, are these people, because they have gone through the protocols that we have established in town, allowed to be in this room and speak if they so desire? That is the motion at hand. These other issues or concerns at this point may be more of an issue if they do speak, and I'm sure that some of those will be, some of those questions.
What's up with the feed? They're killing us with this feed, man. Killing us. What is going on?
Of exactly, who the representation. I see the list. Everyone knows how to get on the list. And I've explained to the petitioners if they had represented, they need it. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no other questions, I now, by the way, it is very hard for me. I mean, the room is full of all different colors. Please make sure that if you're standing in a microphone, thank you. I honestly, if you stood up here and looked out, you'd see it's just a array of colors. Sorry. Next question.
Good evening, Mr. Monitor.
Moderator. Oh, she's one of us. She called him Mr. Monitor. I've met Jennifer before. She comes to She was outside with us when we were getting into it with Paul McAuliffe and Grandpa Eclipse.
Going to make gun motions into their mouth, the cops should be paying attention to the audience right now. Thank you. Let's raise the bar.
Wait, what happened?
Secondly, Jennifer
So,
O'Donnell,
again,
16 Walnut Knolls. I apologize.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Again,
I haven't made
sure,
my comment yet. My comment is that respectfully, if someone's going to sway the crowd with their opinion and they are an out-of-towner, I think that we should know if they are on our payroll that we are paying for.
and if they speak, they are, I've responded to that question. If they speak, they are required by our bylaws to disclose that. So
That
again,
they're being paid
I do
by
not
tax
know what their intentions are.
dollars, that they're being paid by tax dollars. That's what they have to disclose.
Again, that is not what they have to disclose. They have
That
to
should be.
disclose who they are representing. So
Okay.
it's pretty easy to figure out. I mean, our town tax dollars are only appropriated by you, the people. So it's pretty easy to figure that out. And all the books are open books. So I appreciate your concern and comments, but again, they are not appropriate for this motion that is before us tonight. Hopefully that satisfies you. All
Thank you for your
right.
time.
Any other questions? Seeing none. All in favor of motion 3 of Article 1, signify by raising your cards. All opposed, please signify by raising your cards. The motion has passed in this room by at least a 80% margin, so 80% to 20%. So that is my declaring in this room. Again, it does not need that. It only needs a majority. I'm going to ask the other rooms to then vote this article.
I don't think there's going to be many close votes tonight. They appear to be, good guys appear to be outnumbered here. Just from what I'm seeing, like they're all clapping like we have to fix this then. But
Looks like the cafeteria, they're probably only like 10 or 15 seconds behind us, but the gymnasium is probably a minute or 2.
Okay.
it's tough, man.
All right, give it one more second. While we're waiting for the vote, once again, the petitioners have asked or have given me some names to help verify the people that were assigned to the gymnasium are not there. If there's someone else on the list that they gave me that would like to go and be the observer and help confirm some of these votes, please see me. All right, so motion 3 of Article 2 has overwhelmingly passed in all 3 locations, and the chair has ordered it so voted, and Article 1 is now closed and dispensed. Yes, it is now closed and dispensed of. And we will now move on to Article 2. For Article 2, the chair will recognize first the petitioner.
Mr. Moderator, the petitioners wish to withdraw Article 2 without prejudice.
Okay, Article 2 has been withdrawn without prejudice, so at this point, there will be no discussion on that one. So we now are moving on to Article 3. The chair will recognize the petitioner for Article 3.
Mr. Moderator, the petitioners wish to withdraw Article 3 without prejudice.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I do something?
We also, for the record, and keep in mind, I'm not always good at this, we have to start with a name and address. And so Kathleen, I am sorry because we've been working so closely the last couple of days. I didn't even ask that, but please
Kathleen Howley, 43 Sherman Avenue.
Thank you. And so now, again, the Article 3.
For Article 3, the petitioners wish to withdraw Article 3 without prejudice.
Thank you. So Article 3 has been withdrawn without prejudice and will not be debated. We are now moving on to Article 4.
Yeah, what's a good article? Article 4 is the audit.
Mr. Moderator, the petitioners wish to withdraw Article 4 without prejudice.
What's Article 4? What's happening right now? I have no idea what's happening right now. Are we giving up? What is happening right now? 6 is the one we want?
All right, I apologize. I've got a question from the audience in the other room, and I got to also make sure that I'm trying to give them the proper attention just because they didn't get here at 5 o'clock like the rest of this audience. I want to make sure that I'm addressing them too. So I'm sorry, Kathleen. Article 4, again.
I'm just trying to get this a little lower. Mr. Moderator, the petitioners wish to withdraw Article 4 without prejudice.
Thank you. So Article 4 has been withdrawn without prejudice and therefore will not be debated or discussed tonight. Thank you. On a comment on that, the petitioners, they're not allowed to now speak on this, but since I have worked with them, because they can't debate an article, but I do know that there's some things that they just didn't feel quite ready for. So by withdrawing an article without prejudice, it allows them to possibly revisit some of these things at a later date. But again, excuse me.
See, McAlbert's. Those are the McAlberts.
Decorum, please. There's been a lot of hard work put into all this stuff for the last couple of weeks. I truly expect everybody to respect what is happening tonight. And again, I didn't have to, comment on that. But again, there's a lot of work that goes into any of these articles. And I believe that the petitioners' perspective on this, it was their own, not guided by myself or anyone. So I just wanted to explain to you what it means to be withdrawn without prejudice. So I don't know if that's their intention, but again, that is what the element is. So now we are ready to move on to Article 5. So again, the chair will recognize the petitioners, Kathleen, to make a motion for Article 5.
So people are saying it's like a strategy to remove these. Why? Because we're out. She's reading the room. Is that right? And it looks like they're outnumbered.
Mr. Moderator, I'm making a motion to move consideration of this be postponed until after Article 8.
Okay, so the petitioner would like to address other articles before actually addressing this one for various reasons on that, it's their own opinion. But that motion to address this article after we've disposed of Article 8 is the motion that's on the table. Do I hear a second? So I hear a motion to move this until after we've addressed all the other articles and dispensed of them to Article 8. I have a speaking on the motion, Ms. Holly.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you for all the work that you've put into this meeting, as well as everybody else in the town, especially FinCom has spent hours and hours on this.
Smart. Read the room.
We feel that the meeting would go more quickly to address some of the articles that have the greatest attention here tonight. And for those reasons, I ask that this article be moved until after Article 8.
Great. Any other comments on that? Seeing none, all in favor to move this until after Article 8, raise and, okay, all opposed?
So, whoa.
All right.
So they want to get to the good stuff, basically. They don't want to wait a second night for, like, they're like, all right, we'll screw all the other things we got on the agenda.
Voting and have this done so that my perspective or the perspective of this room does not sway the votes in the other room. So give this a second. And when, go ahead. All right. And so we also have someone coming in from the cafeteria to speak on a point of order. So I would wait for that person.
I can't believe there's 2,600 people watching the broadcast.
To a microphone.
We're so old.
Sitting in the cafeteria, we're about a couple minutes behind you. I had a point of order. When these articles are being withdrawn without prejudice, are we talking for the entire?
What's this guy talking about? We can't even hear him.
Or this is off for this
No,
session?
once an article is withdrawn, that means when the petitioner withdraws a motion without prejudice, that means they're taking it off the table like it never was on this warrant whatsoever. That's
I
what.
just want that clarification.
Yes,
So the
so
votes
they are
are-
taking this off this warrant. It cannot be brought up at a later time. They have withdrawn this article from this meeting as it.
This is Chris Albert's attorney, the guy that sent out those threatening letters. Remember earlier in the year? Is that really him? Oh my God. Watching Jason Kelsey's daughter on TV. That's cute.
I'll try to do better. I need your name and address as
Glenn Hannington, 22 Woodcliff Road, Canton. Okay?
This is that joke lawyer who wrote those threatening letters, threatening defamation early on in the Canton series on behalf of Chris Albert. Anyone who was negative about him, he threatened to sue.
okay. Anybody who has looked and all right, so what we had, my perspective here is that we passed by a slight majority in this room to move this to a later point in time. Which other was close? The cafeteria was also very close, but the gymnasium moved it with a significant majority. So therefore, I find that the motion to move it, to discuss it later has passed. And if somebody wants to challenge that, that's fine. But the thing, the aspect is, all we're doing is changing the timing on that. So I have declared that the motion to move this until after Article 8 has so passed and is so ordered. All right. Seeing no other questions, I now will start with Article 6. So Article 6, I will first ask the Finance Committee to move.
The gym vote, those are our people in the gym. Is that right? Shout out to all the turtle riders in the gym. What is happening right now?
You should see a motion for Article 6 and as presented above.
Okay, so the Finance Committee, following the, we're on a very tight deadline to get the warrant out so we could get printed copies to everybody. They made a motion that you saw is printed in the warrant. They met a subsequent meeting and revised that motion. And that motion is what you're seeing as printed on the back of this card. And so, Ms. Thomas, can you speak to the motion and also address the slight nuance change between the two?
The gym has friendly people. Glad to hear, Jenna.
That is on the back of your card, speaks to this, this process to proceed with a review of the police department to be led by the town chief procurement officer, and specifies instead of 3 to 5, we specify that it should have 5 members in the.
Oh my God, this feed. Oh my God.
So indicated that this procurement should follow all standard procurement laws and be conducted in compliance with all conflict of interest and ethic laws, and also that both the process should be made, that the process should be shared publicly in terms of the process of developing the RFP, the review process, and the selection. And then in addition, in compliance with public records law, the results of the independent consultant's report should be made public upon completion. So that's kind of a brief summary of the article and some of the key points. The Finance Committee voted unanimously 6-0-0 to recommend this updated Finance Committee motion. As I said, this is for an independent review of the police department, which includes a review of policies, procedures, and compliance. The formation of a committee to oversee the procurement was recommended to preserve the integrity of the selection process.
Dude, how much you guys, Jason Kelsey is, I'm watching him. I wish we had players like that. He is unbelievable.
Used as a procurement process in order to select not just the lowest bidder, but the most qualified bidder. Obviously, finances would be taken into consideration. We've also suggested that $200,000 was the amount recommended by the article sponsor for this. That would be a maximum, not an expectation that it would necessarily cost $200,000. Want to comment on the fact, and we had discussions with this both among our committee and with the select board. Select board has already indicated its intent to proceed with a review of the police department, and has requested that the town moderator begin a search process for a national organization.
What?
This article does both. So we feel that this article provides more transparency. In addition, given that the select board has publicly made this commitment, we feel that this article primarily serves to shift the responsibility for the review from the select board to a procurement committee and the chief procurement office.
You're thinking of Travis Kelsey. It's Jason Kelsey. That's the one in the Eagles. He's a lineman. He just pancakes people. It's like, wow. They just moved.
Conflict of interest. Finance Committee felt that this approach was preferable. The Procurement Committee, as I said, would be responsible for developing the request for proposals, development of the metrics for evaluating those proposals, and actual evaluation of the responses and selecting the winning bid. Finally, as I mentioned, by specifying the maximum cost and the funding source, we feel that this motion is fully transparent to the voters. We struggled also to find a way to audit the select board, which was included in the citizens petition. Of note is that our administrative code is currently undergoing review. There are many already regulations around how the select board must function relative to conflict of interest and ethics laws. And so we did not take any action on an audit of the select board at this time. I will also note that in considering the audit of the select board, the Finance Committee deliberated in length about considering a motion for a government modernization initiative. However, we decided that it was out of the scope of this article, and we expect that that will be a matter to be brought forward at the annual town meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Thomas. I have a couple questions that before I move to the next person. Two questions I have is, usually when there's amounts that are put in for anything, whether a capital project or we go out and get estimates of what these things are. I heard you say that $200,000 selected. Can you tell me how was that figure derived at, and how does that compare to the standard cost to perform such an audit?
So that number was provided in the original article from the petitioners, and so we stayed with that amount. We have not, I think, with the early stages of not even having scoped out an RFP and framework for the procurement, we're not prepared to give a specific amount, so we went along with what the petitioners proposed. I should also notice that these funds would be a transfer from free cash in the undesignated general fund balance.
Thank you. Wait, don't leave me, because I have one other question that was asked me too. There's a couple of items here, and you mentioned that 2 board members voted with apparent conflict of interest.
Ooh, I found something interesting is going to happen tonight. Okay. So I can't say that. Oh, man. Secret.
Ethics training is pretty clear that if you have an immediate family member who would be impacted by a vote that you would take, that you not just abstain from that vote, but you really are responsible to recuse yourself from discussion. So to be clear, if I was voting on a matter that affected an immediate family of mine, I would go sit in the audience while the body deliberated and made its decisions.
Thank you. And question for the select board, if I may. Has everyone in the select board also take, I know every board member is required to take the same ethics training as I am. Has everyone on the board taken that ethics training? Okay, so everyone also on the board has taken that ethics training. And again, there is a process that we do have for determining if something is, there is an ethics hotline. And so before somebody accuses somebody of doing something, that conflict of interest and things like that are
Celtics are winning at least 94-89. LaMelo Ball is good though. We're playing LaMelo Ball is fun to watch.
letter of determination and thing. So please, if you're going to make comments, make sure that you are well informed and you have the right answer. Ms. Thomas.
I want to be clear that I did not make an accusation as much as to state a fact that our select board's position in being able to move forward with an independent investigation is potentially challenged by the fact that only 3 of the 5 members would be in a position to actively engage in securing that review.
Appreciate that.
So
Thank you.
I did not
apologize. That's not, I didn't intend to imply that, but I do want to make sure that if people are saying something, that it's 100% that you have have something. Again, ethics is a very important issue in government. This gentleman.
Business. Who's talking? Why does this keep crapping out? It's killing me. It's Canton feed. Man.
Who's designated to inspect them and, hold them accountable for their violations, if there are any?
We all are. There is first of all, the most important thing is every person that has a situation needs to make a determination on their own. And if there's area, and I've had to do this a couple times, I think anybody who's attended a prior board meeting, annual meeting that I presided over, I had to call the ethics hotline on issues because I was on the board for the Revere and Son, and we were asking for financial thing. So the first step is they make a determination. Second of all, we all have that, and there's an ethics hotline in the state, and you call that, and you can report that, and then they will investigate, and they will give you a letter of determination. So that's I've heard many times during the last few months of,
get him.
You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. And again, I don't know the right answer myself. But what I am asking people to do is, if that's what they believe, instead of standing up and saying that, you could ask them, have you consulted or whatever? I don't know the answer to that. But again, accusations or making comments like that is very disturbing. And there is there is a state process that is hotline. You call it and
yes, sir. I'm not accusing anybody.
No, I'm just trying to explain the process. All right. So we have
family police officers. Great. Awesome. Love hearing that.
second, and
what is happening?
Right go ahead.
Hi, Kevin Marnick, 6 Carriage Lane. I don't know if I'm out of order in here, but I did have some questions about the procurement committee themselves.
Before we do that, I am trying to address this in a particular order. My understanding was that the petitioners may make an amendment to this. So before this is totally debated, I would like to give the petitioners their opportunity to offer the amendment. So, and then again, I want to get the right motion on the table that we're going to be voting. The petitioners didn't necessarily agree with the Finance Committee's motion in this case. They had offered some amendments, and if the first thing I want to do is make sure that these amendments, if they still want to make them, are put on the table and considered. So the chair will recognize Kathleen Holly to speak next.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. The petitioners rise to support the FinCom's motion.
Okay. All right, so that's all. Now I can go to the debate. So the gentleman to the right over here.
All right, and I don't want to make everybody cringe, but I do have a couple slides that I sent to Lewis because I'm kind of questioning, I guess, what are they going to accomplish with this audit? Because I've heard a lot of talk about lack of independent external oversight, compliance with policies isn't monitored, audits are self-reporting, the CPD is afraid of being audited.
Yeah.
All right, but
yeah,
when you look up here, and I'm not going to go verbatim here. We're not going to talk about other David and Goliath topics, but you know, when you look up here from an outside auditing, external monitoring perspective, I mean, everything that's being proposed in this motion is covered. Okay. They have independent financial and evidence room audits done annually. Citizen privacy is covered by CJIS, which monitors all data access, all searches performed by a police officer in the computer system. You have media and citizens monitoring radio scanners, recording interactions on their phones. From a reporting perspective, they have mandated FBI reporting for excessive use of force or use of force in general, mandated taser deployment reporting for the Executive Office of Public Safety. There's a whole bunch of different things already in place here that cover all this, with court trials being the ultimate oversight, okay? Defense teams, judges, juries, prosecutors, et cetera, they get to objectively analyze every single case, the evidence collection methods, everything that you get to see during the trial. Next slide, please.
So we don't need,
from an officer conduct perspective, I mean, that's on here with complaints, et cetera. We have things that are state-run organizations already in place to handle this, okay? And the police are required by law to report on these things. There's an oversight commission with a majority civilian, and every law enforcement agency officer has to get certified on this every
This guy's
3 years.
Gotta be a
Next
cop.
slide, please.
Gotta be a cop.
I mean, they have training mandates. They have organizations that oversee everything that they're supposed to be trained on every year. And our Canton Police Department already does a whole bunch of other voluntary trainings every year. So I guess I'm confused here because I also saw elements for conflicts of interest. That's where jurisdictional control comes in. If there is a conflict of interest, the Mass State Police take over an investigation, or some other organization takes over an investigation. Okay?
Oh, the Mass State
Crime
Police.
scene compliance. I mean, they have external lab units that collect information, that collect evidence.
This guy.
Not done at the local level. Next slide,
Who's
please.
this guy?
And this is a big deal. I've seen a lot of people, frankly,
It's like
just talking about this as if it's
all
a
self-reported dipshit. That's the problem. Like, do defense teams get to audit the Canton Police Department? Like, no.
achievement for our police organization, okay? We are one of 122 law enforcement agencies out of 374 in Massachusetts that have achieved this accreditation. That's less than we're the top
Who is this guy?
third, 90%, okay? No other people are doing this all over the place. It's not required. It is voluntary. They don't have to do this.
Who is this guy?
And this involves a thorough examination of everything, their equipment, their evidence rooms, their collection methods, their policies and procedures, how they operate and function every day.
This guy has to be a cop.
Okay?
Has to be. Look at him.
And they have to get reaccredited every 3 years with this.
Come on, Canton TV. What a Canton.
Of compliance with all the policies and procedures and everything they're talking about analyzing here and spending $200,000 on.
Clearly,
Which, to be
guys,
frank, we don't know if it's going to be $200,000. That is an estimate.
This
It's a
was written
placeholder.
by
This thing could be $500,000.
clearly.
Could be $1 million.
No, the motion as written would set a maximum on that. So just
Okay.
want to clarify that for the people. And you have another minute.
Yep. And I guess I have concern with the committee. You know, I've watched the FinCom meetings. I've heard a lot about perception of bias. We don't want the select board to select a thing because of conflicts of interest. Well, how is having a committee with 60% attendees chosen by the petitioners not biased? They are biased. They pulled this town together in this meeting together.
Order.
I disagree with having any petitioner involvement in selecting members. And if you want to recuse other people for other reasons, that's fine. But
All right.
that is not an unbiased committee.
That's an opinion. Thank you. Next speaker, I'm going to move over here. And then I'm going to go. And because we want to make sure there's fair debate,
Hey, that was Sean Good's brother, by the way. That guy was Sean Good's brother, the guy who responded to the police scene. One of the first responding.
then if you don't like that, I'm fine with that, but I will end the debate when it's time. So let's go to the next speaker.
Mr. Moderator, Bob McCarthy, Old Meadow Lane. The original articles presented were illegal and unenforceable.
This guy.
This current one basically is beyond the scope of the article. The Finance Committee rewrote and added to the scope. Why? I have no idea. I spent 8 years on the Finance Committee and I've never, ever seen this done. I know they were trying to help, but they made a bad situation. Opponents want to control $200,000 and the study. Originally, there should have been a scope of service. There is none. They have no idea what they want to study. Who's going to put the scope together? Based on what? They want to control a minimum of 60% of the committee, although
I wish these people would just get this over.
60%. Opponents believe that all town employees can't be trusted. They attain it. Who are these proponents? What are their qualifications? They're not elected. They represent 1.75% of 17,000 registered voters. What about the other 98.5% of the voters? Except for the procurement officer. Except for the procurement officer.
Who's this guy?
Or his designee.
You know this guy.
They want him to accept whatever they come up with.
This guy.
That means he's got to commit his license, commit his reputation on people he doesn't know, and do not trust him because he works for the town. I would never do this. Again, 1.7% of 17,000 registered voters. Does a well-run town send over $200,000 to a committee? They have no idea. No person from the town, no employee from the town is on this. We don't know who they are. 1.75% want total control. Reject this proposal and all the proposals and allow the study that the select board has already started and continue. These proponents are never going to be satisfied until you have total capitulation.
I mean, can they not have a stream here in Canton?
Murphy, 19 Wildwood Drive. I would like to state that I support the Canton Police. Because I do, I accepted Chief Rafferty's open invitation to speak.
I like this guy.
And since that time, I've spent past several months understanding the many procedures and audits conducted of the Canton Police Department. Chief Rafferty and I have.
Oh my God, dude, this is so bad. Sorry, my mess up. Married to Sean Good's sister. Yeah, I wish you guys.
All of our staff to review their processes.
Sean Good's brother. He's married.
Ultimately, I came to understand that the police must perform a lot of training overseen by the Massachusetts Peace Officers Standards and Training Commission, Post Commission, and they must be certified for duty. I have learned that CPD has not only established all mandatory procedures required by the Massachusetts Police Accreditation Commission for certification, but they also established optional procedures required to achieve the accreditation level.
I thought he was okay.
This is a great step, and the CPD should be commended for it. But I also learned that the attestation of an officer's fitness for duty is performed by the chief or her designate, and there is no review of how well or even whether CPD follows all of those procedures.
Ooh, good point.
And in fact, if there are any concerns raised regarding procedures not being followed, the only review that is performed is done internally. This is why we need an independent audit of the CPD.
Yeah. All right, I like this.
They may be doing everything correctly, but we need an independent review to know for sure. Further, the select board only authorized audit of the CPD after the submission of this petition requiring the STM and this article that's contained in it. Their approval occurred after several months of ignoring and stifling citizens' requests for review. Now, the select board was suggesting that the audit of the CPD that they wanted to conduct is the way to go. This is the same select board that has stated multiple times in their meetings when CPD reviews were requested that they do not tell the CPD how to do their job. I feel the select board missed their window of opportunity, and we should proceed with the motion as written. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm now working my way to the right. To the woman in blue.
Hi,
Name?
𝗵𝗵𝗄𝗧𝘂𝗍𝗂, 84 Walpole Street. I stand opposed to this article. My position is town accountant as hired under the Mass General Laws 41, Section 55. As town accountant, I'm also responsible for the internal audits of the town. Not only does my office audit and follow the Mass General Laws, we also have to follow the procurement laws, report monthly, quarterly, and annually to the Mass Department of Local Services, the Mass Department of Revenue, as well as legal services and the IRS.
Oh, man.
Officers Association. We don't have to do this. It's optional. We have received an award for the last 17 years for our excellence in financial reporting. Our external audit for FY23 was just completed a couple of weeks ago, and we will be submitting for that same award again.
Award-winning auditor. Is this real? Is this lady real? These people hate social change. They hate it, man.
Be one out of 122 police departments out of 351 in the state to be accredited by the Mass Police Accredited Commission.
Oh, okay.
I have also worked with the past 2 police chiefs to file and submit all financial records related to asset forfeiture proceeds, overtime records for any task force. All of this is optional. Our police department doesn't have to do this. They go above and beyond.
Right, to go above.
I am going to quote our town administrator, who recently said of me, "Kathy follows the rules, annoyingly so." This is true. I follow every rule, and because of this, I say no, and I put down a lot of things that makes me not a very well-liked person with a lot of the departments. But I'm fine with that because I know I'm following the rules and I'm doing what's best for Canton. I consider this article redundant and a waste of town funds. Therefore, I ask you to join me and vote no on this article.
Yeah, she's really.
Thank you, Ms. Butler. All right, I'm going to work my way across the room, but before I have somebody in front that would like to speak, they can't get up. Go ahead.
Patricia Brooks, 9 Bond Street, Canton, obviously. I am first of all completed the ethics program for both Blue Hill Regional School as a member of the as an elected member of the retirement system. I just wanted to ask a point of clarification. I'm not going here, yes or no. I watched the Finance Committee meeting on November 13th, and they had, I can't remember the numbers. I think it was 3 for one portion, 2 for the other, and of course the auditor. I call him the auditor. Can these petitioners be on that committee, since it's supposed to be an independent committee, so that there's no conflict of interest or anything like that? For me to be on that committee, I would be in conflict. I would, because I know exactly how I'm going to vote, and they would know exactly how I'm going to vote. It would be like me having, I'm going to be opposed to it, and these people that put in the petition obviously are going to be a favor of it. So how would that be independent?
Okay, so thank you for your comments and question. You raised one point. Again, this article is written in a way, and I've had to get a lot of legal advice on motions that are legal motions, but may officer to do some things. The way this motion is being written, he's authorized and requested. He's not legally
what did I miss?
Legally required to do what is in this motion. He has the primary and sole responsibility.
Tied? We're going to overtime against the Hornets? How'd this happen? Seriously?
I think that if the voice of the people are heard, he would potentially accept that, get a committee to help put together the RFP and things like that to get the input from the. But again, that is his ultimate responsibility. With respect to whether the petitioners would truly be independent or not, I think I really enjoy our town process and our 5 select board members because there's always alternative views that people can share, and we all can learn from them. And when we all as committee members get together and share our views, even when we don't agree on some things. The end result is typically a better end product. So there would not be an independence conflict from them getting on, even if they are putting this forward, knowing, what their initial feelings are. I believe in talking with them over the last month, they're looking for someone to come in and independently either validate or invalidate their assumptions. So I hope that answers the question. Okay, I'm still working my way across the room here. Go ahead. Point of order?
Point of order, thank you. Stand back, sorry. I just want to make a couple of corrections. The petitioners actually supported the Finance Committee's article, which has 40% of the petitioners, allows the petitioners to nominate two.
𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗃, is that the guy's name? I mean, are they kidding me with this? Are they kidding me right now? I think we found the guy who assaulted Tom. Somebody says it's better be him. Better not be another tease. What is going on here?
Those comments that were incorrect.
Thank you. So starting over here, I'm going to work my way. Please, if you've heard something that you're about to talk about, I ask you to step back in the line, because I do not believe I'm going to be able to get to hear from everybody. So we've had a couple of very long discussions to start, and I should be trying to limit them. I'm trying to be patient, but if I do the math of how many people are standing up, and if you all spend 5 minutes, we're going to spend an awful lot of time here. So I'm going to ask you to, if there is anything that you've already heard, please don't repeat it. If you have new comments, we'd like to hear them. So the woman next.
Good evening, Mr. Monitor. Jennifer O'Donnell, 16 Walnut Knolls.
No, she's on our side.
I support the third-party audit, and I have reasonings behind that. I am wondering if the monitor is allowed to address some questions to Chief Rafferty on my behalf.
You can ask them. I'm not sure if I will pass them along, because they definitely need to be pertinent to whether or not we would go forward. So if they're related to what other types of audits we have before. So go ahead, let's start.
Sure. I was wondering if the public, or if the committee or Chief Rafferty could speak on behalf of whether there was a proper vetting process done when she was given the position of chief.
That is out of order. Next question.
My next
Please,
question,
order.
Oh, good.
Next question.
My next question
Right,
would be
give it
if
to
Chief Rafferty could advise parents on what to do when they have requested a meeting with herself and officers and she will not comply.
All right. So this is going to be your second warning. All right. And so that is not in order, because that is not part of what we're trying to debate here tonight. All right. So this is about an audit. And so if you continue to ask questions that are not pertinent to this, I will be asking you to leave. So, and please, everyone understands what we are here to do. We are debating whether or not to have an audit. So I caution you if you ask another question that is not related to that. Next question.
All right. So would the fact that all of the board members voted on Friday's meeting opposing anything that had to do with the Canton Police Department be cause to have an audit?
So I have not seen that the select board would want to speak on this. I'm not seeing anyone at a microphone. The select board meeting was aired. I was at that meeting where they held their position. They stated why they voted the way they voted. So they may or may not choose to reiterate that at the
They
tonight's
should
meeting.
have recused themselves, though, according to
Please be very
and
careful.
ethics.
Please be very
I am.
careful on your next statement, all right? If
Would
you have
you-
a determination that you are absolutely sure that they should have recused themselves, then you can make it, but I'll tell you right now, you better be 100% sure.
Would you ask the board if they have reviewed the ethics clause?
That is,
and if
I've
they
asked
should
them
have
if they've
recused
passed, if
themselves?
they've taken the course.
The
period.
course is one thing. Did they have to, were they bound to recuse themselves according to their code of ethics? I don't think I'm out of order for that.
Oh, what's happening? The woman got a little too silent.
I'm going to end it with that. I'm going to move over and I am respectfully asking you at this time to step down because again,
Thank you.
I understand what you're trying to accomplish. Please.
Like what? See him with the
I
bullet?
understand your concerns or whatever. I've
Oh,
just
talk about
explained to
Jeff,
you that if you believe that and you have a concern, it is your, please look at me and pay attention.
Yeah, what's she saying?
It is your responsibility.
There are people being
It is-
rude to me behind me. They're speaking rudely to me.
Good for her.
Out of order on their end.
Good for her.
I'm asking everybody to be quiet. I've just explained, I've tried to explain, it is all of our responsibility.
To be respectful.
I appreciate if that is your concern, please just Google it. There is a ethics hotline and you are able to call and report them and you'll get a letter of determination. All right. Thank you.
They were so rude. I see Elise Cohen there. I think that's
Next person.
Yes, Rita Lombardi.
Yes.
Sorry. 8 Kings Road, and
go.
I rise in favor of Article 6. I do support the Canton Police Department. I have my entire life. My relatives are in this town. My dad grew up in this town. I had the utmost respect for the Canton Police.
Oh no, fucking TV. Come on. What is happening? No. No. What should I do? Should I refresh the screen? Should I refresh? I'm refreshing.
An independent audits, they're impartial and include a review of compliance of the activities and reports to the policies and procedures. We heard earlier that these audits are being done. We have never seen an independent audit that shows us this. If there is one that is done that shows us the compliance that's not self-graded, fabulous. I'd love to see it. Audits that do not include the compliance component by an impartial party have limited, if any, value. It's equivalent to grading your own paper. Independent audits serve as useful checks and balances to ensure that policing activities are being carried out in accordance with established ethical standards, regulations, and laws. Independent audits allow police departments to proactively address concerns, improve operations, build stronger relationships with the community. We're at a point right now where we don't have a strong relationship, as is evidenced by some of the heckling in here.
Yes.
Some reports areas include areas of successes that are celebrated and identify systemic issues within the department, leading to improvements in policies, training, and personnel. They provide elected officials, such as the Board of Select who oversees them, information regarding their oversight responsibilities. Auditors bring different levels of expertise that in-house auditors simply don't have. They help to improve efficiency and reduce operating costs. So whatever the audit costs, you can be assured that you will reap the benefits of that in operational efficiencies. Improve decision-making, efficiency, and reduce operational costs and mitigate financial exposure risks such as lawsuits against the town or the Canton Police Department. So we've had lawsuits against the town and, maybe an internal or an external audit would have helped prevent that. We don't know because we haven't done it. It's an alternative form of citizen oversight. And when the police
1
department,
minute.
okay, when the police department demonstrates that it supports independent oversight, they are telling the community that they value transparency, fairness, and continuous improvements. The long-term benefits and the reduction in financial risk exposure far outweigh the cost. I ask you to vote yes for the audit because good enough isn't. We need to be better. We are better, and we can do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Order. All right. I am going to take a couple more comments. I want to make sure that these comments are new and unique. Otherwise, so please make sure you weigh your words carefully. We're starting to hear a lot of the same items, the value of audits and things like that. But I do want to have people be heard. I don't want to not have people be heard. So I'm asking you to please consider whether your comments are going to be critical to helping move this audience one way or another. The woman and Peach, yes, whatever,
Okay.
Orange.
Mr.
yeah.
Moderator,
Whatever.
thank you. Could I cede to Kathleen Trish Boyden, 26 Farm Street. I'm wondering if I could cede to Kathleen, because I think she has slides.
We got to hear Sean Colburn too. Got to hear Sean Colburn.
Yes, you may yield to her. Next, Kathleen.
Kathleen Howley, 43 Sherman Ave. If I can ask Louis to bring up our slides and go to the second slide.
Oh, here we go. I love it. I love it. So did Trish just jump to just so she could?
Actually, can you go back one? No. An independent audit of our police department that taxpayers spend more than $5 million a year on. And the select board has already issued a statement saying we agree, and they've conveyed that they want a thorough and holistic administrative review of the policies and procedures. So I think we are not here to discuss whether.
Excuse me, point of order. The other rooms are having trouble reading the slides. So in fairness to the other rooms who are going to vote and think, you can either read the slides or please make sure that you're summarizing in your comments the points on the slide so that all rooms have the same information to vote on. All right? Thank you.
Let me just read the select board October 24th statement. We have heard the individual concerns of our residents. We agree and have conveyed to our police chief that a thorough and holistic administrative review of the policies and procedures of the CPD is appropriate, and at our direction, the town administrator, Charles Judy, has begun the process of researching national firms.
Who's got the ball? Oh, Jason Tatum shooting 3. What the fuck, dude? Are they kidding me right now with the stream? Are they serious right now?
That's what the select board is suggesting, policies and procedures. It does not audit whether those procedures are being followed. Compliance is a self-assessment.
Oh my God.
If you Google this title, the Massachusetts Police Accreditation Commission, and the self-assessment phase, you will come up with the webpage I'm talking about. So it's really the most labor-intensive and time-consuming phase of the process. It's really the hardest part, is what they say. It is a self-assessment phase. So the compliance part of it is, if I can use a term that.
I mean, are they kidding me right now with this? You're kidding, right?
Some of us heard in college, self-grading.
Yeah, you guys.
This is our concern. Is we understand that we have a thorough review of the policies and procedures, and what we're looking for is an independent audit to see about compliance. There was a slide up here a little while ago that said, that had listed all of these things that were passive things. They are not, or training, or this is not, this is not an audit. Nothing on that slide that was shown earlier was an independent audit of compliance with those policies and procedures. Louis, if you wouldn't mind going to the next slide. I just want to show you on the post database. If you look at Canton, we have an amazing record. We have one disciplinary action, and that occurred while the officer was with the Boston Police Department. And then if you look at the towns around Canton, you see what their results are.
Exactly.
We would like to have an independent audit to see if it's a case of things, disciplinary actions simply not being reported.
Yeah.
Or perhaps not. But the taxpayers would like some reassurance. And we spend a lot of money on our police department, and we're happy to do that. Most of the people who, in the group that gathered the signatures, have law enforcement in their family. I do. I had an uncle who was in law enforcement. I come from a military family. And we are grateful to the police. And I want to end with one story, Mr. Moderator.
I am cutting you off at this point. I believe that the town at this point is ready to vote this motion. So at this point, I would ask again, everybody be seated and get ready to vote. I apologize. I would love to have had, plenty of time to speak all night long. I apologize, but it is evident to me by everybody's motions and that.
Come on, let one more speaker, Sean Colburn. Come on. Come on.
Card is the motion that's at hand. So all in favor of this motion, please signify by raising your cards.
They're already voting on it? We can't. Oh, don't show the room or anything, IT guy.
All right, everybody look around and make sure you understand. All opposed.
I mean, good thing we're looking at the screen now. I mean, who the hell, what century is this? And good thing the IT is crapping out. Is this not the most Canton night ever? And it's going to keep refreshing it, dude. Good thing it's crapping out during the vote. Awesome.
I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't call this
Oh, I'm just sitting on the couch. Motion carry? Cafeteria motion carry. You guys hear that? It's a cafeteria motion carries. You guys heard that, right?
I'm just I'm glad this one. Please be patient.
Dude, that's interesting.
All right, please be seated again. All right, I'm going to do this one more time for our room because I know the results of the 2 other rooms. And I would like to, everyone in favor, please raise your card.
It carried into a, ooh. That's a lot of cards. Show the whole room, please. Why can't they show the whole room? The gym pass?
All opposed?
That looks like less hands.
All right. The results of our room, I believe the motion passed narrowly. The motion passed narrowly in the gym. Passed narrowly in the gym, and the motion passed narrowly or by a better margin. And so as a result, so as a result,
yes.
As a result,
Look at him.
the motion has passed by a narrow margin in all 3 and is so voted.
Where'd he go?
Next person.
Agree with you, Count.
All right.
James Terrell, Full Wall Court.
All right. So I have one disagreement. Again, if we go with a disagreement, we will be going.
Did you see that John Connolly face? We got to get
into a written tellering process for this article. So I have one disagreement on the count.
I thought we had to stand up and show.
Oh,
Not the teller. I thought that was.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Our telling process. I'm sorry. We will not be using written. We passed that. So our tellering process. If we have 7 people that challenge the vote, we will be standing in place, holding the cards and be counted. So I have one. Is there anyone else? And trust me,
That was so satisfying. What is this now? You guys lost. Give it up. You lost. They took the gym and the cafeteria.
All right. So we are now going to a tellering process. So will the tellers please come forward? Point of order or what? Gentleman standing here in front. I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Recount. What is
How
this?
we, excuse me, I
Stop the steal?
John Kelly, Peakwood Street.
These guys are bad.
Thank you for moving
leaders.
forward with the tellering process. I don't know how we were able to get a simple majority when the 3 rooms are split.
Because you won all. 'Cause you lost all
You know, that is one of the challenges we have tonight. I was told by the 2 other moderators that the motion passed narrowly in their room. I believe that motion passed narrowly in our room, and in the 3rd room is. So that is why we are going through a tellering process where we will count the votes and bring them to the front. So everyone must be in their seat. Please close the doors. Please have all the other voting areas close their doors and have the tellers report to the front of the front of the area.
No, it's a majority because it passed in all 3 rooms. You idiot. Like, what is there to... You really want to go through the process of losing? You can lose all over again. You can lose all over again. This is so satisfying, dude. This is so satisfying. I thought they were going to get killed. I'm gonna be honest, I was so negative. I'm like, when I heard the cheer and shit, I'm
Okay,
like,
let me explain.
wow, they're gonna audit the fucking police department. I cannot believe this. This isn't a sham. This is just dying. Like, this is like, it's like
Those 2 tellers are going to be counting the yes no's
Fine,
first,
right now. This
the
is
yes votes first. By people
voted
showing their cards, they're going to walk down. They have to have the same number when they come down. And so I will not make people hold up their cards all day. They can do it row by row or however they choose. That way they're not holding their voting cards up, but each teller will be taking sections and walking down, counting the votes on clickers, and then they bring them up front and we tally all the votes. Each room will have the same process, and we'll bring all the votes together, and we will then tally them up and let you know the results of the vote.
Dude, I got to see the John Connolly thing. Can we get that on a meme somewhere? Can we get that somewhere? I'm gonna go back on the Young Jerks. Maybe they got it. I lost it right when it happened. Dude, I gotta see this. Can someone send me a picture of John Connolly standing up? I went to go screenshot it, and I lost the feed somehow.
So just a reminder, everybody must be seated in a seat to have a vote counted. And the tellers are going to be going up and down the rows and counting, and then we're going to tally them up. I am going to go check the other rooms to make sure that process is proceeding. Tracy and Gail from the clerk's office will be starting that process here. During this tellering process, nobody is allowed to leave the room, and nobody is allowed to enter the room. So if you are standing up in the back and you want to vote, your vote won't count unless you are seated in a seat. So find a seat. All right.
What is happening right now? I got to see this, man. I can't believe that just happened. And these losers can't take their L. They can't take their L, man. I cannot believe this happened.
So now I got to bring up my spreadsheet.
That's something you know.
John Connolly standing up like that. It made my night. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Okay, I got it. Oh, look at that face. Oh, he looks so mad. He's so mad. He's like, can someone save us? Can someone do something? Oh my God. I'm screenshotting it right now in the Young Jerks. They're counting the votes, they said. Oh my goodness. Oh,
I will go get them instructions.
Oh, it's too good. The John Connolly memes, dude. Look at this face. I gotta look at this. It's too good. It's too good, dude. Yeah, see. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is fun. Look at him. Look at that face, dude. Oh my goodness. He's like, what change? What just? It's not just 5 women in school at the meetings. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, you gotta see the whole thing. You gotta see it in that. The whole thing right now. Come on, let's see it. Yes, there it is. Look at this. Look at this. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at that face. Oh. It's too good. Look at him. He's going to blow a gasket. He's going to lose it. Oh, he's going to lose it. He's going to lose it. It was so worth it, that face. He's like, what an odd overview. What is going on here? That's not how things are supposed to work around here. Go ahead, count them up. Count them up. Let's see how close it is, man. We got 3,000 people watching that goddamn town meeting. Oh, I'm getting everyone sending me the count. Oh, I'm so happy. What a great night. What a great night. Oh my God, the Connolly memes. Oh, can we trust the issue of the vote counters? It is interesting. That, imagine they try some shenanigans here. But it ain't gonna happen.
How do you think it's going? Fun, huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, other than the technical glitches, I mean,
listen to him.
it's fine.
Charles Stewart's like, it's fine, other than the technical glitches. This is too good.
Just when you get to these hand counts, it's going to take forever.
The hand job's gonna take forever. Oh.
Because people would have to get up, file, get back.
Oh.
I guess this will be a little quicker, I think.
So many people. Look at that thing. Look at that.
We get through this one, and the other ones won't be so.
So everyone's sending me the Connolly pictures. I can't stop. I can't stop, man. I really, guys, I was sure we were gonna lose. Like, I'm like, oh, the fix is in. At the clapping and stuff, and people being all rude. Because like Jennifer O'Donnell, they were rude too.
Point of order?
Like, it was just like, oh man, it's gonna suck. I'm like, there's no hope for this town. And then that happened. When I heard on the radio, like the gym and the cafeteria are voting in favor of, I'm like, ooh. And then when I thought that the auditorium would be like 𝗵𝗵𝗃 territory, so it was gonna be a close one, right? Like they got the big one, and then they got the smaller two ones we got. But then like he said it's a slight majority here. The moderator said that. Oh, wow. It's like, I did not expect that, man. They could still fix it, I suppose. But, you know, there's going to be revolt if they try some shenanigans here. Revolt. Dude, this is so good. I am so happy right now. I don't even live in this town. It's like, wow, thank you, people of Canton, for doing the right thing, man. Did we lose the feed? Refresh. Oh, miss. Dude, I got it. You guys, I got so many good Connolly pictures, man. You guys don't have to send them anymore. I got them all. Thank you. It's like, oh, can we just sit here? Wait, what happened? Okay, so they're manually counting. Hold on. In the meantime, let me bring it up. I was not planning on streaming this. Dude, this is too good. Look at this. You want to see the face of defeat, guys? Check this out. There it is. There it is. Look at that face. Oh, it's too good. Oh, it's too good. I wish he was wearing his patented short sleeve button down with the the vest. He loves the vest. It's like when they somebody posted the picture of him drinking at the hillside, of course, the other day. Glug, 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 glug. It's like, does he always have that outfit on? Look at that face. We need some memes, man. Look at that. Look at that face. Why did he give us this victory? Dude, he did not see that coming. He did not see that coming at all. Now it's time to vote all these guys out. Who's up next year? I mean, there's got to be an election coming up in. When do they have elections? April? Who's up on the rotation this year? McCourt? No, McCourt just got elected with Albert. So it would either be Loughran or Connolly or Theodore. Let's get them out. All of them. They're all no good. All no bueno. Let's pull it back up. I can't believe the Celtics lost. So they're all counting. Oh, dude. This was a good night. So if you guys are just tuning in now, man,
this is a town meeting like that's never happened before in Canton. That's organized by a bunch of people that were just everyday random fucking citizens. They were called by that guy who I just showed you, who don't like the fact that their police department is clearly, the Karen Reed story is obviously what tipped them off to like the fact that there's some shadiness in the Canton Police Department, mainly with their leader. Like, it's definitely systemic and it starts at the top. I think Helena Rafferty's comments a couple days after the story came out that like we just need to stop sensationalizing this really set the tone that like the Canton Police Department is not about transparency. And later we found out that Michael Lank was in the house. He didn't report any, he didn't look around the house, but he went inside. He was personally called by Jennifer McCabe at, I believe, 8:38, and then responded back to the house around 9. And of course, we know that he's the fixer in town. And Michael Lank previously got Chris Albert out of a jam in 2007 by arresting the 𝗵𝗂𝗇 brothers wrongfully. They were acquitted, and then they sued the town. He was then promoted to sergeant and then later to lieutenant. We know that 5 Canton police officers responded to the scene of John O'Keefe's death, that they used a leaf blower to look through the area where after his body was taken away to look through for evidence there. They found shards of cocktail glass and 6 droplets of blood that they put in red Solo cups, but they didn't find any taillight. Later on, I believe, either 5 or 7 subsequent trips to the scene. Well, he said they were trips to the scene, probably didn't even go. Michael Proctor claims that more and more 35 pieces of taillight were found. And at no point did the chief ever rebut any of this. The chief the other day called a woman a liar, Jennifer Hartford, or just not even a liar, called her like a lazy mother who wrongly blamed her for skipping a court date, which she was never informed about by her officers after she came to Canton and her 5-year-old had a goddamn egg thrown at her. And so a bunch of people got together and were like, enough is enough. We need systemic oversight here. You cannot police yourselves. There's no more self-reporting here. And they got enough signatures to get the special town meeting. After they got the special town meeting, the police themselves then began investigating the people who got the signatures and demanded names after 3 unnamed people say that their signatures were forged on there. They had more than 100 more than were required, by the way, and we're talking about 3. So they got the more than enough signatures to get this on the agenda to have a special town meeting. And that is when the opposition began rallying the troops and, saying, oh, this is too much money, 200 grand. It's like a drop in the bucket for a $145 million budget. Give me a break. And, it also is an investment. It's supposed to save the town money. They're hand counting the votes. Anyone know what's going on there? Do we have any boots on the ground? And we did find out the name of the person who assaulted Tom. He's a doctor. Can you believe that? He's a doctor. Wow. The guy that spoke up at the end there, his name is James Tyrell. In 1984, I believe, or 85, he was involved in a motor vehicle accident on the high street, and he killed 2 friends driving like an asshole. He's the one that got up to speak. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Like, there's a lot of people like that. Those are the kind of people that don't support independent oversight. He's an ER doctor. He's an emergency room doctor, the guy that assaulted Tom. And we're going to have a story on him tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Refresh the page, I know. I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying. They're hand counting the votes. They're still having the young jerks, right? At the end, someone's going to make a motion to reconsider a previous article in which they will vote on it again. So the people go home and vote a yes, their votes are thrown out. Man, the whole public already heard them declare it was a majority in favor of all three rooms. So if they change it now, it's just confirmation that Canton is corrupt and crooked. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I mean, this is everything that was wrong today. Like, the guy gets assaulted in the parking lot by a good old boy who then gets into the Canton police car. Like, nothing happened. Like, wow. Wow, 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 wow. The era of corruption in Canton, guys, is coming to an end. It is. We're going to win this vote. This is Banana Public. Can we hear from anyone who's inside there? I know we definitely got some people inside there. I'd love to hear what's going on. Somebody said that's true. Someone needs to make a motion to reconsider the question. Then it's done. It can't be brought up again after that. If the yes people leave, the no's can bring it up again and possibly be favorable. I mean, guys, do not leave. If you're in Canton High School right now, please do not leave. Do not leave. Do not leave. They locked the doors. Tom is disabled, so we got an ER guy assaulting a. Wow. If he wants to be famous, we're going to make him famous. Yeah, no one probably has any service in the school. Let me see if Eric is there. She usually has pretty good service. Hey, those people have been so fucking rude to us, like openly and blatantly. What you're showing is not what's happening.
If everyone could just stay patient for a few minutes more, the moderator is on his way back, and here he is.
Oh, you're back. We're back. Here we go. Here we go. Did I mute this? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mute that. Come on. Come on. Where's the moderator? It's going to be an audit, guys. It's going to be yes. There's no way. There's no way it's no. I hope they get like an exact amount. I think they got at least 60%. That'd be my guess. I think they won by a comfortable.
I'm so sorry. I had an incident in another room that I had to deal with that to protect the citizens of this town. I did it the best I could. I apologize. I thought this vote was going to be started while I was gone. Here's, hold on one second.
An incident to protect, refresh. Come on. It's on the young jerks. Hold on. I watch the young jerks.
Two tellers. First, we're going to be holding the cards if you are voting in favor of the motion, and the two tellers are going to go down and they're going to have to count these cards.
No, it's fucking all like this. What is happening?
And they have to get the same number. So I ask you to hold.
Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. I just had it. Come on.
For the
Oh my God.
For the vote of the yeses. Oh. And can we close the doors up top? All right, thank you. So as the tellers are going up, you please hold your cards up so they can count them. Tellers, please start the process.
I'm writing it down right now. I'm gonna have to do it manually. I don't know where my calculator is.
Yes, this is only for yeses. Please hold it up and just be patient and hold it up so that they can count. If they don't count at the same time, they will have to do it again. So I know it's laborious, but this is our process. And while you're all like doing this, I do want you to know that this government modernization idea is a pretty good idea. I think I personally looked into the electronic voting. I had Tracy get quotes from 3 vendors that would have allowed us to do this electronically. But unfortunately, our bylaws were written ages ago, and that was not an option that complied with the bylaws. So I could not implement that at this time. I hope that, somewhere down the road, if we get a committee of people that are going to be doing some modernization, that's a consideration. Other towns have done that very successfully, and you can see real-time results on a screen. And again, it comes with its negatives that all technology has, but again, something to consider going forward. And I hope that the future generation of voters and moderators will consider that going forward.
Who won? Are you gonna tell us who won? What are they doing? What are we doing?
The counter on stage left broke, so they're asking, can we do a recount?
All right, the counter stage left, the clicker failed, and so
what?
Hey, clickers, come on. Hey, do you want to get it right? All right, please. I think this left of the stage. This.
I can't believe there's 5,300 people watching this. Oh. Hold on. Refresh. Okay.
The clicker failed. Some people are like, I'm on the edge of my seat. This is wild.
You got your little spreadsheet?
No, I went down. I
Okay.
have internet, so can you do it the old fashioned way?
Tracy has, all right, so for the cafeteria.
What is happening?
It's right here. The yeses are 146. And the noes.
Tom has already filed a complaint. It is an ER doctor. He was one that was there when John was admitted to the hospital. How
The middle
about
section? Oh, God.
I know. Well, the problem is they're kind of holding it down.
Oh, God. All right.
Yeah, Tracy, should we consider doing a second group behind us?
So what?
what is happening?
Bill and somebody else.
Yeah,
Huh?
that, you could do that. Could ask,
Ellen and Bill, yeah. Ellen and Bill. Have you got any of these counts yet? Like that one, the middle count, they don't mention it all. They need to-
Oh, there's him. Oops, sorry.
I'll post it.
The stage, yes, yes.
Ollie?
Oh, stage, yes. He's in that. Yeah, he's on the dozy. On the stage right, it's just side. So now the middle, they do it again. They're not getting it in the right count.
If they can get it within a couple, I
right.
would put a little asterisk next to it and redo it if they need to.
okay.
I got 130. She has
139 is what?
Well, we all think we asked 143. I got 143 when I get it. 130. She got 140.
130, 142 to 12. So, so are you two the same? Are you all the same?
Ellen and I are one off. We just were a
Okay,
backup.
so
We were-
I could ask you to.
I got 142.
In what area?
Stage left.
Stage left. So 142. And yours is what? Because it won't make a difference. 140.
We haven't gone back. We're waiting for another person. Maybe Jeff. He's taller. We need to have
Yeah.
him announced.
Yeah, we can ask Jeff. Yeah, he's
Sent
trying
us
to
go again.
write everything down.
Sorry, Tracy.
Nothing to apologize. Yeah, I
So
know.
you have to- if it's determined by less than 14 votes, you have to do this.
I mean, it's still live. Young Jerks has the same problem. What is happening? What is happening?
And because if it's that close, I am not calling it and we'll start all over. So please, let's try to do this one more time. Hold it nice and high, and please tellers, do it again. We are going to start some of the other sections with no's. Oh, never mind. I was just told I was an idiot.
I can't believe it. Oh. Hold on. I'm freaking hot in there. It's hot, man. I can't get the feed. I have to watch the Young Jerks. All right, let me read a couple turtle chats that we got here in the meantime. Earlier, Jenny B sent $25 and said, hit the like button. So thank you very much, Jenny B. Appreciate that. What else do we got here? Hold on. How do I know no votes? I don't know anything. Then we got Mark sends $28, says, take care, Turtle Boy. Thank you, Mark. And Sharon sends $10 and says, just a tiny dono from the most boring and retarded town on earth. All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's go. Come on. We have 3,300 people watching. I think I got the live stream back. Oh, come on, dude. Are you kidding me? I mean, are you really kidding me right now? Cool, it's moving. How do they know that everyone in there is from Canton, by the way? How do they know that everybody's voting as Canton? If it fails, it's like, do they not have electronic voting clickers? Somebody said even Leicester has electronic voting clickers. If you've been to Leicester, you understand. If it fails, someone there has to make a motion to reconsider the question. Somebody there has to make a motion to reconsider the question if it fails. All right. Then they're still sending them. They're still sending the memes. Oh my God, you guys with your memes. So they do have service there. Okay. All right. We got a Cash App from Garrett Nobles in the meantime. Let me read Garrett's Cash App.
Are we ready for no's? All right. Tellers, please take your position. We're ready to count the no's, and then we will I'll add up the yeses right now.
No, that was
All
just
right.
soon. 10. Thanks, Garrett. Appreciate it. My audio is a bit. That was about 10 minutes ago? I'm going to want to put on the Young Jerks again? I just don't want to miss this, you know? Are we missing? I don't get what they're doing. So I'm not missing anything right now. What do you mean 10 minutes ago? I'm fine. Okay. Fake news. I gotta stop listening. Hold on. Oh, you're voting no. Please, everyone voting no. Please raise your cards. Hold on. You gotta switch back to that screen. Hold on. Hold on. They just said it. Everyone voting no. Please raise your cards. This isn't buffering, is it? Like, what is with this? Can they not put a camera on the freaking room? Is that too much to ask for? What? You heard 347 yes? Get out of here. Look at all, like, is there no sound? Where's the sound? I see placards going up. They decided to take the sound out? Young Jerk says no sound either. I'm well aware of who the ER doctor is. You don't need, I got it, guys. Thank you. Canton's living in the 18th century. I know. I mean, some of these guys have been around since then, so. It's buffering again. Buffering on the Young Jerks, too. Hold on. Got a couple more cash apps here in the meantime. Suppose I can read these. Jim Ferris Bueller, right, sends $10 and says, while they count Proctor found more taillight. It's true. And Garrett sends $10 and says, I missed it before. Western Mass supports you. I love Western Mass. Beautiful out there. The Berkshires, Hampshire County, even Franklin County is all right. I don't know about Hampden, but love you guys out there in Western Mass. My Turtle Riders. How many Ford Edges are in the parking lot right now? That's what I'd like to know. Go around looking for a Ford Edge. The Buffalo, I'm going to make it on, I'll make it on Thanksgiving morning. Got to be fresh. Got to be fresh. I will eat an entire thing to myself all day. You have one bite, but that's like my dinner. So I'm not eating any of your nasty. Oh, go. Oh, look at him go. Look at number 0. Oh, is that Swift? Ooh, he got suplexed. It is a meal. It's definitely a meal. Buffalo chicken dip is 100% a meal. Hamden's a great county. I mean, if you like Springfield, I guess. I'm not trying to shit on the Hampden County people. Agawam's fine. Agawam's lovely. I can't believe we got 3,200 people watching a goddamn town meeting. Come on, folks. I mean, you can eat it with, you can do that, I guess. I'll be eating with crackers or bread. You could be, hey, calm yourself. I already did my whole rant on Thanksgiving the other day in the Pilgrims. Just go watch it. First of all, the Pilgrims didn't eat buffalo chicken dip because it wasn't invented yet. If it was, they would have eaten it. Duh. You tell me the Pilgrims would be like, yeah, I want that nasty ass turkey. Yeah, give me some of that. Or we could have, buffalo chicken dip and be dope. I don't like pie. I don't like any pie. People say, what's your favorite pie? What was it?
The final tally is 903 to 800. The motion carries.
Yes. 903. They wanted a hand can. I'm like, oh, they should have just taken their L. They should have taken their L. They lost the first time. And they're like, you know what? We need to get humiliated more. We need to count this so we can lose by 100.
The Finance Committee moves that the Select Board, that moves the Finance Committee motion as listed in the warrant.
So motion has been moved and seconded to move the motion as written in the warrant on page 14. Speaking on the motion, Ms. Thomas.
So the proponents of, so this article, for those who may just be trying to catch up, is about moving elections from the current election day in April to November to align with.
I'm getting the best Connolly memes. Well, we're fucked. Oh, that's a good one that this guy just sent me. Oh.
Participation in local voting and elections. Currently, participation in local voting is very low, and the feeling is that if it moves to November, when historically state and federal voting occurs, that that voting will improve, voting turnout will improve. In addition, we do acknowledge that conducting simultaneous state elections and local elections Finance Committee did not actually hear from our town clerk. We did. We spent over an hour on this article, hearing both from the petitioner and from our town clerk and a number of poll workers. We have great respect for the tremendous work of our town clerk and her staff. We recognize that this would be a challenge to do dual elections. And we specifically added to the article that it would not, the first pass on this would not occur during a presidential year. However, despite the discussed difficulties of moving local voting to November, the Finance Committee felt that the cost differential wouldn't be significant and the increased value of more participation in local elections outweighs the concerns.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. The chair will now recognize Jennifer Wexler.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. My name is Jennifer Wexler. I live at 182 Turnpike Street. On behalf of the petitioners of Article 7, I stand in favor of the Finance Committee's Article 7 motion.
Anything else?
And I wish to thank the FinCom for its unanimous recommendation for a yes vote.
I mean, is that it? Are we good? Are we good? Do we win?
Captain and the petitioners as well to present all our perspectives and concerns relative to Article 7. They listened with respect, had a thoughtful discussion, and worked to craft a motion that addressed the clerk's legitimate concerns. We appreciate their deliberations and vote of confidence. FinCom's motion effectively incorporates feedback from our town clerk and others by recommending that this change not take effect during a presidential year election.
I just want to say,
therefore, the earliest that this policy change would be effective would be November 2025. This gives the town plenty of time to plan and organize for this change. Could we have the slide?
I'm going to forget so many names. 𝗕𝗿𝗂𝗏.
Please, order.
The laws and practices surrounding New England, next slide, please. The laws and
Jennifer,
practices
Trish, all
surrounding
you
New
people
England's
that don't know all these
self-government
things, and
are
especially
among the
J.
oldest
O'Donnell, who
in
really
our fine
set off
country.
this movement by going to that.
We
first
Americans remain very
�𝗿𝗄𝗆
proud of our
by
tradition of
𝗬𝗏𝗲𝗆
town meeting
Bernie
as
Albert,
being the
Diana White,
foundation of our local
and Michelle, what's
self-government.
her name?
But some
Run the log
laws
there.
enacted
Oh, you
long
can't hear me?
ago no longer apply
Yeah, I'm not
to
listening to this.
contemporary.
You guys couldn't hear what I was saying there? So yeah, I just want to shout out to everybody who has been, Rhea Lombardi, Kathleen Holly, Holly, is that how you pronounce it? I'm not sure. I don't want to even say that many names because I'm going to forget any. Jennifer, the other Jennifer, Sean Colburn, Kristen, Trish. There's so many, and especially, like I said, Angela Chan O'Donnell, who really got this whole thing started in April when she spoke out at the meeting and was glared at by Bernie Albert and Diana White and the egg thrower. And oh man, and Julie Albert and Michelle the cheese hog. You guys really started a movement, man. You started a movement, and man, this is satisfying. This is so good. So these people thought that they ran the town. They could do whatever they want without any oversight. And, they were wrong. They were wrong tonight, man. You guys started a political movement there for good. You took on institutions that silenced you along the way the whole time and attempted to keep you from speaking and had to be yelled at by the ACLU. And I can't go to meetings. It's just like, but man, you guys did it. Oh, it did mute the meeting? I did mute the meeting. You guys can't hear me? They can overturn at the end? What? You can't hear me? Are you guys serious? How can you not hear me? I've literally muted the meeting. Could you guys, so no one could hear anything I just said? Why do you keep people? Oh, you can hear me. Okay. You can. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Just making sure. So anyway, my bad. I saw can't. I read it too fast. People are like, I can hear you. But anyway, man, it is, yeah, like I said, Angela was obviously the person who got this ball rolling, man, was attacked by Lizzie Proctor, had her picture posted out there, owned it, made it a profile picture. The meeting's not over. Okay. The meeting is muted. Okay. But the meeting was just like, they're talking about, what do I care about any of this shit? I care about, there's a gavel. Someone's getting gavelled. Hold on.
I will try to move forward quickly. I hear you. It's getting late.
What is this lady talking about?
Additionally, and very importantly, whether or not we make this change, we need to attract more poll workers. And in terms of dual ballots, I just want to point out that this kind of election can be effectively conducted with voters completing the voting with 2 ballot cards without getting in line twice. We have a lot of examples of this occurring.
So don't leave.
I hope that you will really consider what election officials all over the United States identify as the key change for increasing local turnout. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Mr. Theodore.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Tom Theodore, 18 Charles Drive. The select board unanimously opposes this motion. The town clerk's office firmly opposes this article. The intent of this article was to increase voter turnout for local elections. But the state has already made changes and put into place that we have early voting, we have mail-in ballots for local elections. The cost of running a dual election and budgeting for those anticipated costs follow the normal budgeting process and should not be rushed through in a special town meeting. There have been towns that have run the dual election, and they have all reverted back to the separate elections. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to start over to the right. Gentleman over to the right.
Hello, my name is Bill Quinn, and I live at 6 Louis Street, and I've lived in Canton for 54 years. I was a manager in the financial services industry.
Please keep your comments focused on the motion. Your history.
I rise in opposition for this article because I am the warden of Precinct 1. My wife is the warden of Precinct 6, and we have significant knowledge of the process. I applaud those who are trying to find ways to improve voter turnout. However, I'm concerned that the benefits expected by moving town elections to November are based on assumptions that are not based on actual data. It is also my concern that the assumed benefits will not outweigh the risks to the process and will eventually lead citizens questioning the integrity of the voting process. Every ballot must be accounted for from the beginning of the day until the end of the day, and there are process controls that are in place based on the one person, one ballot principle. State law would require a town such as Canton to run 2 side-by-side elections if a town or state or federal election were to occur on the same day. Running 2 elections simultaneously with some people taking 1 ballot and others taking 2 will eliminate the ability to fully control the process and will terminate the one person, one ballot control. The ballot box attendant won't necessarily know if someone left a second ballot in the voting booth, stuffed it in their pocket, or handed it off to someone else who may attempt to vote twice for the same race. Increased voters at the polls does not automatically equal more votes lower down the ballot after the federal and state races. Year after year, I have had to manually count ballots during presidential and state elections, and based on my experience, the lower you look on completed ballots, the more blanks you see. County level races are often left blank, so why would we assume that the local level races would fare any better, perhaps not even taking the local ballot to vote? Early voting and vote by mail have recently been put in place for local elections, and they should be given more time to show their benefits in increasing voter turnout before instituting more change. From a process perspective, it is much cleaner to receive 1 ballot at a time in the mail rather than several. If someone were to return 2 ballots in the same envelope per state law, these would have to be rejected and the voter would have to be contacted to make arrangements to correct. There have been comments made that it would be wonderful for the town to be a trailblazer in this area, but I am concerned that going forward is actually concerning for a process such as an election where it's important to be accurate more than anything else. Currently, we elect town boards in 3-year cycles.
That was Colin Albert. That was Colin Albert. You guys saw that. That was Colin Albert. That was Colin Albert. You saw that, right? 1000% that was Colin Albert. Can we rewind this? Holy shit, that was him. You guys saw that, right? I got it. Oh, here it is. I'm going to put it on this other one. Look at this guy. Look at him. I'm glad he's not sad anymore. There he is. That's him in the back. There's Bang Bang. Colin Albert's in the house, like always. That's him right there. Who's the guy he's with? Who's the tough guy?
Rejected, and the voter would have to be contacted to make arrangements to correct. There have been comments made that it would be wonderful for the town to be a trailblazer in this area, but I am concerned that going first is actually concerning for a
That's him.
process
That's him.
such as an election where it's important to be accurate more than anything else.
Like that kid cares about. He just showed up. He showed up. He cares about civics.
Forward with this vote.
I will. Because a number of points that I had intended to make have been covered, I'd like to just present 3 slides to you that I think will help you.
Order.
Could I have slide number 2, please? The primary responsibility that we have as warden.
What up?
And for that matter. as-
Please read the slide. There's people in the other room may not be able to see it.
Our job is basically to conduct elections, your elections, that are secure, that are accurate, that preserve the privacy of your ballot. And we have done that. The best example that I can give you is that in a select board election that was held in 2020, 6 votes separated 2 candidates. And because of that, a recount was requested. When the recount of approximately a little over 4,000 votes was made, only 1 vote was changed. So in fact, given all the initiatives that the town has taken and the commitment that we have as poll workers, we have in fact met that commitment for you. Could I have slide number 4, please? Right now, we need a total of 8 poll workers, that is 1 warden, 1 clerk, and 6 poll workers at each poll, working for roughly what breaks down to about 18 hours for an election day. In the 2022 midterms, what we had was a total of 31 that worked full-time, 15 that worked a part-time shift during that day. That basically broke down to about the equivalence of 39 to 40 people working the full shift. In my particular precinct, we had a warden, a clerk, and 4 poll workers that started the day. 1 left at 1 o'clock, 1:30. So we ended the day with a total of 5 people that worked until closing at 8 o'clock and then continued until all ballots were counted, which usually ended up around 11 o'clock in the evening. In the 2022 midterms, there were 14,751 ballots that were cast in Canton. If in fact you ran a dual election and everything worked perfectly well, and everyone that came in during that election also filled out ballots for a town election, we would be tasked with managing approximately 29,000 ballots at the end of the evening. Even if you only realized half of that goal, you would end up having to process in the vicinity of 22,000 ballots. If I could have the next slide, please.
And you have 1 more minute?
Yeah.
Please be patient. Go ahead.
Somebody yelled something?
Please try to conclude. Go
The
ahead.
average age of the poll worker in my precinct, and it's similar in other precincts as well, but not all, is 77 years old. These people get up between 5 and 5:30 in the morning to get to the polls at 6:30, to get the polls set up so you can start voting at 7 o'clock. We work all day until 8 p.m. when the polls close. And at that time, we feel just like you feel now. But it's the hardest, it's the time that the hardest part of the day for us begins.
Thank you.
So I hope you appreciate that.
All right, this gentleman over here.
By the way, I'm told that that was Officer Lehan who was with Colin when he walked in. Wouldn't that be some shit? Would not that be some shit?
To the point.
John Kelly, Peakwood Street. Speaking on behalf of everybody here, could I make a motion to vote on the article at hand?
5 and 8. So if that influences us at 11 o'clock time.
All right, we have a motion to move the vote in a second. We will now vote to move this article. Please, with a vote of show of cards again. All in favor to move the article, please show your cards and say aye. All opposed and want to hear more debate on this? Order. I'm trying to do that if you would pay attention.
Ooh, getting saucy, Mr. Moderator. He's had enough. I think he's done an all right job, to be perfectly honest with you.
All right, let me try it one more time. All in favor of moving the vote, raise your cards. Thank you. All opposed? Thank you. Can the other two locations please call in your vote on whether you want to move this article?
How long do we have? It was Leanne. People are saying that definitely was Leanne. Is that confirmed or just guess? It looks like it. It really does. He does look a lot like 𝗵𝗡𝗄, no joke. That guy looks exactly like 𝗵𝗡𝗄. I didn't even think of that. That's amazing.
So just to be clear, all we voted for right now is whether we're going to vote on this right now. So give us one more second to hear from the other locations.
What is happening? That's how I feel. Like I can't. That's how you. Like, you're a moderator. I can't tell how he feels about it. I feel the same way. Can't believe someone had to walk that through. Oh, that's he's just walking around free. Bothers me. We got a lot of comments. Oh boy. So tomorrow, guys, I'm gonna tell you one thing. You guys know I have signed. I'm doing a documentary.
Are you going up north?
I can say
so you don't have to come out here.
But we start filming tomorrow. So I'm gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna be a few hours of filming started. So beginning tomorrow, man. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I know, guys. I'm pretty well aware. I'm familiar with it. You couldn't hear what I just said? You can never hear what I said. So, as you, yeah, so you could hear what I said. Yeah. So yeah, I am starting with the filming tomorrow for the doc. It's gonna be awesome. Got a few hours of it planned. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. With who? I'm gonna keep that a secret because I want to surprise you guys. It's a really big name though. Let's just put it that way. Really big name.
A few. Let's just put it that way. A few pretty big documentaries that you'll see. Like, it's gonna be awesome. Like all this shit, dude, that been put through with all this, dude. It's all gonna work out in the end. It's gonna work out for me, and it's gonna work out for Karen Read. Not only are we both gonna be found not guilty, man, and we're gonna, it's like we are also going to benefit. Like our careers are never gonna be the same. Like I'm fully, and I cannot. I'm not even. I would say that I want. Oh wait, let's play this.
To move the motion. So now I move the article. So now we will move to vote the motion. All right. And so once again, all in favor to approve the motion as made by the Finance Committee, please signify by raising your cards. Oh my God. All right. All opposed. Okay, that one's easy for me to decide. So
it's not Ted Lehan, by the way. It is not Ted Lehan. I got the guy's name. Is it muted? The guy's name is Jason. The guy's name is Jason something. No, you're right. It is. The guy's name is Jason Marcel is his name. Jason Marcel. Best friends with Jill Daniels, they said, which makes sense why he's there. And I found a picture of him holding a Chris Albert for a select board sign. So there you go. But while I have you here, Krusty Panties does have court tomorrow in Stoughton. She's the Stoughton police have filed a criminal complaint against her for violation of a harassment prevention order at the arraignment. She's also being investigated for a much more serious crime in my town. Let's just put it that way. What doesn't sound good? There it is. Yeah, you got it. This vote. What's the what? What about? Did I lose it? Hold on. Oh, it's refreshing. Hold on. This is so annoying.
one more time, I have the results of the other two rooms, and I just want to make sure. I'm getting tired, so I just want to make sure that I have it right in this room. So all in favor, once again, please raise your cards. And all opposed, please raise your card. All right. The other two rooms have also reported. One was a slight. Hold on one second.
I don't even know what they're voting on. The only thing I care about is the audit. I don't care about any of this stuff. All I care about is the audit and the police. I am so happy he voted yes.
So, trying my best. The motion has failed, and so therefore, it does not carry. All right? All right, we now have two more articles, and I understand we may have some good news, and we will all be out of here by 11.
Okay.
So the chair will recognize the petitioner for Article 8.
Rita Lombardi,
Oh.
Kings Road. Oh, I'm sorry.
Tim Walsh, 144 Dedham Street. I'd like to make a motion that we vote on Article 5 right now.
No, that is out of order. Please just sit down and be patient for one more minute, all right?
He said he wanted to make an, I missed what he said.
You want to continue to sit there, or do you want to continue to talk? Thank you.
Yes. Rita Lombardi, 8 Kings Road. And Article 8, we understand that the language is out of order. And so we withdraw that with prejudice.
Thank you. So we, without prejudice.
Without prejudice.
The petitioner is withdrawing motion 8 without prejudice. There will be no debate and no other further discussion on it. Thank
Okay.
you. We now will move to Article, thank you. I know there has been a lot of work. I hope you continue your efforts on and working with the town on that, and maybe it can come back at another time. All right, we are now ready to discuss Article 5.
You got the mouse.
Yes, and I would just like to say thank you, Mr. Moderator, for the incredible job that you have done tonight.
Please, order. I promise you this, we will be ending soon.
Really?
Please, just,
Give it to him,
please.
Give it to him.
Thank you. Please finish your comments and
Yes.
as quickly as
I will.
possible.
Article 5 is withdrawn without prejudice.
Thank you. So, would someone make a motion to adjourn? Hold it. Please. We need to, if you want to go home, we need to vote it, please.
So it's over. We win.
I move that we dissolve town meeting.
A motion has been made and seconded to dissolve town meeting. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you, everyone, for experiencing town meeting.
Government in action, baby. Government. We did it. There was no overthrow at the end. Good guys win. Touchdown Eagles. Ooh, they're going to score. It's over, baby. It didn't happen. The thing that you guys worried about happening, it didn't happen. Let me read a couple turtle chats real quick, right? We have here Kathleen sends $10 and says, "This is such a shit show. They will keep counting those votes until they get the results they want. Unreal." Didn't happen, but I understand why you think that way. Mary sends $10, says, "Is there a way that they could challenge or overturn the police audit if people leave the room now?" Well, I guess we answered that question. I think we're good. Thank you very much. I guess not. Diane sends $20, says, "Thanks for streaming. I've never as happy for a vote in my own town." I know, right? This is the biggest town meeting ever. But no, I was not even planning on streaming tonight. The only reason I streamed, I was just going to comment on the Young Jerks or Tom CPUs, but then I just kept all the fake accounts on there, the fake Turtle Boys, and I kept getting blocked because I'm like the real Turtle Boy. I kept getting blocked. So I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'm just doing my own stream. Erica sends $25, says, "Missed you tonight. I wish I could have gone." Like you have no idea how badly I wanted to be there tonight, but it was cold as fuck. When you laugh, I laugh, especially tonight. Booyah, it was done. Yes, congratulations in Canton. Thank you very much, Erica. Kirsten sends $20 and says, "Where's Chloe?" I think you know my thoughts on Chloe. Don't get in doggy hell. That's where Chloe is. People are saying, "Was that Colin?" I thought it, but it wasn't him. Wow. So yeah, let me read a couple more. Let's see. Cash apps. Do we have any more here? Cindy sends $10 and says, how long will an audit take to be done? You know, good question. We'll see. Chelsea sends $5 and says 3,200 people should smash like and subscribe. Yeah, please do so. Please do so. Chelsea sends another $10 and says sending love from Jamestown, Rhode Island. Jamestown, Rhode Island. Love it down there. So it was 100% Colin Albert. 100%. Everybody saw him when he came down there. I'm like, that's Colin Albert. Like, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But anyway, man, I'm fucking happy, man. What a great night tonight was, huh? What a great night. God bless you people in Canton. You guys, the good outnumbered evil. People came out for a special town meeting. You guys are fantastic. So thank you everybody for joining me in this act. We watched a special town meeting tonight. I didn't think we'd have 3,300 people watching a special town meeting, but here we are. Here we are. So we'll talk to you guys. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. We'll see. I feel like we need to talk about this. So anyway, guys, we'll talk to you later. Peace, Turtle Riders.